I just wake up in the morning and I yell a lot, even though it's way too early. It's fun though. Wake up, wake up, wake up! Wake up, wake up, wake up! Thank you once again for getting up way too early with Garage Gym Life. On this show, we talk about fitness-related content from a home gym perspective, and we get your live reactions to the topics that matter to the home gym community. Our show, or our channel rather, is designed to be like a magazine, and this show is the feature article that we hope keeps you coming back over and over again. I am John Greaves III, and I'm the co-founder of Garage Gym Life. If this is your first time checking out the show, I promise that you were in for a good time today. So go ahead and hit that like button for me, and also make sure that you hit subscribe, because that way you won't miss a single episode of what I humbly believe is the most awesome fitness related content on YouTube. All right. Before I go any further, let's go ahead and welcome in my lovely wife, Naomi. And you know what that means. We got to play her theme song. Here we go. Hey. Hey. Hey.
Wow.
Hey, look, that's your fan club, right? We can't get them calmed down.
Oh,
What is going on?
Good morning.
I feel like I just saw you.
Yep, running from the kitchen.
That's all right. That's all right. Every time I see you, it's still not enough.
We're now live. For hearing your inner thoughts.
They're mostly in. They're not even inner. They're mostly outer. Most of my thoughts are just outer.
And that's the scary part.
Most of them are outer thoughts. Anyway, before we check out who's here in the live chat, go ahead and let everybody know what is on the menu for today.
Sure. So here is the rundown. So at 6:15 Eastern Standard Time, we will have news and other things with me. And then at 6:45, we have Recliner of Rage. And apparently Fernando is now working at Fiverr under an alias, and John's going to tell you all about it. And then in the second hour at 7 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Central, Ashley Romiak from Ashley the Amazing will join us to answer your training questions about building muscle, getting in shape, nutrition, and anything else to become the more dangerous version of yourself. And then, of course, finally, in our third hour from 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, PJ from Design Built Lift joins us to talk about the DIY gym equipment space and building a YouTube channel from the ground up.
All right. So make sure you guys are subscribed to Naomi's YouTube channel. See down there at the bottom, subscribe to @Naomi Harris Greaves on YouTube. And it's also right there in her header. So you guys make sure that you do that. So now it is time for us to go ahead and see who is here in the live chat. First thing I want to do though is it was in here last night, but now it's not showing. So I want to, let's see here. So I'm glad I wrote it down, because last night Lifting Lutheran became a channel member. So shout out to Lifting Lutheran. Appreciate you for supporting the channel as a bronze member. Remember, membership is only 99 cents a month, guys, and every single bit of it, I know everybody says it, okay, but I promise you every single bit of that goes back into supporting the channel and helps us pay for things like microphones and all kinds of different things like that just make for a better experience for you guys. So once you become a channel member, you get access to, number one, you get to see our uploads before everybody else, and which means sometimes you get to see the uploads before we realize that there's a mistake. And then I've had people like let us know, hey, by the way, there's a mistake there. So you get to see not necessarily by intention, but you also get to see our blooper reels, you get to see our workouts and all kinds of other stuff. And eventually, once we figure out how to get this going, our channel members will be the ones who are eligible for giveaways and things like that and other special stuff. So let's go. And coincidentally, it's a channel member, our guy Carlos, who snuck behind my back with a live stream last night. Carlos, He says, still stacking days. Happy Friday. Let's go. What's up, Carlos?
I had to actually think what day it was yesterday because it completely
I
threw me
know, right?
off
I'm
with
like,
his
you ain't
live
messing.
stream and the gaming. And I was like, wait a minute, today's Thursday.
Thank you.
So
I was
completely
like,
threw me off.
we all knew it was Thursday, but apparently Carlos did not. I'm like, come on, man, what you doing?
Mhm.
So yeah. Anyway, Carlos, appreciate you being here. And
Mhm.
I actually liked the game. I think it was a game demo he was actually
Yeah,
playing. And I liked it from what I could see of it.
I was
I
actually
I came in
juggling.
late.
I was juggling, and no, this is not 6-7. I was actually juggling between Carlos's channel and then Kevin's channel because also Kevin was working out.
Because Kevin was going live. I said, look at
Yes,
this. Okay.
yes. So I had to support both of our guys.
Yeah, so Naomi came in the office and she's like, yeah, Kevin's going live and so is Carlos. I said, really? So now I already had Carlos up. So I said, all right, well, let's go check out Kevin. So,
Mhm.
and I was finishing rundown for the show prep. So I had a lot going on, but it was pretty cool. All right. Let's see who else is here. Letha says, happy Friday from LA instead of Alabama today. We'll definitely be part of the replay gang today. Just checked into the hotel. I'm about to crash. Have a great Friday, friends. Well, first of
Enjoy.
all, glad that you had a safe trip.
Yes.
I hope the airport wasn't too crowded for you, especially since we're about to fly. So I hope it's not too crowded and that they've got everything sorted out. But enjoy your time in LA, which, okay, I can't help it. Yeah, it's not Lower Alabama. That's what first thing I thought. I said, I'm not gonna make a Lower Alabama joke. I'm not. I did. I can't help it.
Yeah.
But yeah, enjoy your time out there on the West Coast. And let's see. Sean said, we in here. Hey, that's right, man.
Good morning, Sean.
Colonial Barber Club in the building. All right. Can't be, man, we can't keep him out the building because it's not a party till he shows up. That's right. Let's see here. All right. I see your answer to the question of the day. So I'm gonna star that for just a second till we get back to that. Fit Shano, up way too early. Hey, you're here at the right time because we are going to talk a little bit about High Rocks when Ashley comes on. So I know you are definitely into High Rocks, Sean. So appreciate you being here.
Mhm.
Trevor says Fridays are for Garage Gym Life and wrong answers, apparently. Okay.
No.
I
Team
mean,
Fluffy Bacon. That's right.
he has lost his way. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep on rolling. Right? I told you I wasn't even gonna say it. Right? Ashley the Amazing, we know her as 332. It says happy Friday the 13th. Until you said that, I forgot it was Friday the 13th, Ashley. But which doesn't bother me. I
No.
just forgot it was Friday the 13th. What's up? We have her on the show in about an hour or so. And let's see. Sean said 2 months in a row too. Okay, I'm not sure what you're referring to, but hopefully it's not anything to do with that wrong
Oh,
bacon.
are you saying that there was 2 months in a row with Friday the 13th?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't even know that.
I think, yeah. February's Friday 13th.
That shows you how
Also,
much.
I think.
That shows you how much attention I pay to it. I'm like, Trevor says, PJ and Ashley, are we worthy of that much awesomeness in a single show? I mean, I'm honored that they allow me to be on the show with them. Okay,
Yes.
that's all I'm gonna say about that. Let's see here. Fitshano. Sean said the show hit another level with more Naomi. That's right. Said you two have great chemistry. Hey, I'm in love, man. That's the facts. You should hear the way I talk to her when y'all ain't around. I can say it's family friendly, but just our family.
Wow.
Oh yeah, okay, Carlos, thank you. You know what? I forgive you for streaming behind my back because you said this, and I keep on forgetting to say this because I told him during the week. I said, man, I keep forgetting to tell people to do this. If you're watching on replay, shout out to the replay gang. There is a button once you click like. So yes, click like, right? And then once you click like, YouTube is gonna prompt you to hype the video. All right. So if you're like me, I was like, how much does that cost? The answer is free. Okay. You hype the video, and that's basically telling YouTube, yes, this is a video that you need to broadcast to other people. So if you're watching a replay, you're part of the replay gang, go ahead and if you've already hit like as a well, just double check because if you hit like when it's live, this may not pop up for you, but if it does pop up, whatever, just you'll see hype. And please, if you're watching this and you see the hype option, just click hype. All right, that's going to help us out tremendously. All right.
Awesome.
And anybody who is, like a favorite content creator of yours, you see their videos. Like I just hyped one of Carp's videos last night. I hyped Carlos's video during the week. So just I think you can do like 3, maybe 4 uh during the week. So just go ahead and hype them up. All right.
Mhm.
Uh and Carlos said the behind the scenes with John should be a show all its own. Hey,
You
look,
have no idea.
you would be amazed at how
You
it's
have
funny to
no
me because I put behind the scenes up and sometimes people don't watch that. And I'm like, hey, I'm not gonna make you watch it. I'm not gonna make you watch me get embarrassed. All right.
You have
I
no
put
idea.
it out there. I can't make you watch it. All right. So yeah, but I appreciate you watching it, Carlos. All right. So that now that we've called attendance, let's go ahead and take about 40 seconds to take a look at my favorite powerlifting bar, assuming I can find the video. There it is. You guys check that out right here. This is the bare naked powerlifting bar from Bells of Steel. This is the bare naked powerlifting bar from Bells of Steel. I have used a lot of bars since I started lifting weights in 1993, and this bar has got to be one of my favorite. I have loved this bar since I first saw it at Home Gym Con in French Lick in 2023. I saw it, tried it, and I had to bring it home with me. It's a bare steel bar, so I said, let me see how well it holds up without any maintenance done to it. And when I say zero maintenance, it still has a blood mark from where I hit my forehead when I was getting set up to squat one day. And I left it on there because I committed to do zero maintenance on it just to see how the bar would hold up, and it has not disappointed me. All right, you guys can grab the Bells of Steel Bare Naked Powerlifting Bar, or you can get there's a version that has coating on it. I just like the Bare Steel version better because it gives you better knurling. Anyway, you guys can grab that either by clicking the link that's in the live chat. If you are watching on replay, I'm going to help you out and just let you guys, boom, see that QR code right there? You click that QR code, or I guess take a picture of that QR code. You can, it's over there. No, it's not. It's over there. There you go. Yeah, that QR code right there. Click on that, and that will take you guys to Bells of Steel. It'll support the channel, and you can add that, which is what I would say is my favorite powerlifting bar right now. You can add that to your home gym. All right. And let's see here. So now we did that. Now it is time for news and other things. All right, news and other things. First thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about the question of the day. So the question of the day is, this is a one that was actually prompted by the fact that Ashley is coming on here and is and also because Naomi and I have 2 separate goals. Okay. And so it just occurred to me. I said, you know what? I'll ask you guys this too. So, do you find yourself avoiding losing body fat because you're afraid it will negatively affect your strength on specific lifts, which is something that I am dealing with right now because I'm trying to build my bench press. And every single time I decide to lose body fat, my bench press goes down every single time. And I am about 20 pounds away from my lifetime goal on the bench press. Okay. This is a number that when I started lifting in 1993, I couldn't even imagine even being under and surviving. And I'm 20 pounds away from getting it. And I'm like, man, if I start losing fat, bye bye bench press, right? So are you so do you guys have that same issue, or maybe because you're afraid of looking small? I know people who are afraid, like they won't lose body fat because they're like, I'm gonna shrink down, my arms won't look big anymore, or whatever, right? And then for the ladies, do you avoid lifting heavy in general, or do you avoid doing certain exercises because you're afraid of getting too bulky? So comment in the chat with your answer, or if you are in the replay gang, reply to the pinned comment. All right. So Naomi, what's your answer to the question of the day?
So I actually would like to have more definition. So, and women, you would have to actually take like steroids in order to get bulky. But I know that there are people out there that think, oh, if I lift too heavy, that's what's going to happen to me. I'm not, I do want to lose body fat. I want to get, a little bit more, more lean, more defined. That's actually the word I want to use. And so that means more, more heavy lifts, I'm not really worried about bulking up. I just want to be more proportionate to my body
100%.
and be healthy. I want to have enough body fat to make sure I'm healthy, have enough body muscle to make sure that, again, as I'm going into my golden years yet? No, not quite.
You're too young. You're too young.
So, but to be able to still chase after our youngest and, still be cool enough for our
grandkids.
older, and then be able to be around there for our grandkids. So,
Yeah.
I just definitely want to be healthy,
Okay.
but to also have, like, as that one video when I noticed my bicep actually start showing that I had a bicep, I was like, oh,
Yeah, I
so it's just
remember.
little things.
Yeah, I remember how like you were smart. You're like, whoa! I was like, yeah, that's actually pretty
Yeah.
nice. So Sean answered it. He said negative. He's not worried about it because he's trying to lose body fat. That's not a. He's like, I don't even care. So
Mhm.
I'll actually let's follow up on it with you, Sean. Do you struggle because you want to lose body fat? Do you find yourself over prioritizing cardio because you're like, look, the important thing is to just, I got to get this fat off of me? Or is it easy for you to kind of like, strike that good balance? All right. I just think this is a kind of interesting. And like I said, if you're watching on replay, gang, make sure you guys go ahead and chime in with your answer. We got a celebrity in the building. Man who parks in gym has arrived. He said Friday. Yes, sir, it is. And
Yes, it is.
look, I'm just gonna go ahead and let the world know. Man who parks in gym, MWPIG5 saves 5% at Prime Fitness USA. In case y'all weren't aware of that fact, just throwing that out there. Okay, it's a known fact, but I still feel like I need to get the word out. Everybody, tell your friends. Tell your friends. All right, we should skywrite it. I think we should skywrite it. Carlos said, actually, I'm more concerned with losing. I'll swap with the strength thing in the back end. Said next step is a 270-pound bench. Hey, man, look, here's the thing. So Carlos has been posting his videos. Matter of fact, do I have this in here still? I thought I did. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Anyway, I was gonna say, you guys make sure that you subscribe to Carlos's channel. It's at CBS TCR. Or heck, you can see it right there in his comment. Subscribe to his YouTube channel because you guys can see his progress in the bench press or in all of his workouts. And he did 245 last week, I believe. And so he's heading, and this is all the way down, which is something that he wasn't doing before. So Brad Abbott came on the show and gave some tips. Carlos has been implementing the tips, and now his bench is just shooting up. So it's really, really cool to see that. You guys make sure that you are subscribed to him, and then you guys get to watch it as well. Plus, you get to check out, the live streams, roast him like we do. Jared says, happy Friday. I'm hoping to drop some weight this summer. I suspect that strength will fall off, and that's okay, but we shall see how a cut goes. And he's got the burgers and pizza and all that. I don't feel like those. Well, you know what? Hey, you might be able to eat all that stuff. I know I can't really consume all that stuff if I want to get like lean. Like, you remember that summer where I did it was stupid. Well, it was crazy anyway, where I did the shake only. Yeah. I was like, nothing but shakes. I got to the point, I think day 10, I was like, I started turning my shake into pudding because I was like, I missed chewing.
Yep.
Like, and that's something that you would never think would be something like, why do I care? But
I
started missing chewing. I lost weight.
You did, but it's not sustainable.
It was not sustainable at
all. But hey, you wanted to go down that journey. I let you go down that journey, and I sat and just observed.
It was crazy because I said I wanted to. So what happened is there was a thing called the velocity diet. And it basically was like that. You take their shake, you take their supplements, and that's really it, right? You have one solid food meal the entire time. And then our buddy Greg from G Code Nutrition, shout out to G Code, came out with this meal replacement. They said, this is a complete meal replacement. This is all you need. So I was like, all right, you know what? You're my buddy and all that. You're my boy, but I'm going to put you to the test. If it's all you need, can I survive on just this? And he actually messaged me and said, look, it's nutritionally complete, but it doesn't have enough calories. So that's when I started putting the heavy whipping cream in it. Because
heavy whipping cream and you did double scoops.
And I double scoops because it was in the way, the calories, I don't even know if it was 100 calories per serving. And so I did lose weight. I don't know if this is a highlight, But I remember we went to watch Spider-Man Far From Home, and everybody else was eating popcorn, and I was drinking my shake.
Yeah. Yeah, he had over there
That was the good
before
movie theater too. When that lady fell, when we walked out, that lady fell outside.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like, well, your property value just went down. But no, he's over here shaking up his shake and then drinking it, and we all had popcorn or I am a sour cabbage patch or a sour patch kid or a sour watermelon kid when I have to go to the movie theater. So there's some things in life you just don't sacrifice.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That was rough. Now I have forgotten all about that poor woman falling down. Her family like just left her, and I go to pick her up. I say, "Are you okay?" She turned around, and looked at me like, "Who are you?" Because her family member, they just left her.
They just kept going. They just kept going, and I was like, honestly, I think there was a story behind that.
Yeah.
So like the question is, did she actually trip and fall, or
Yeah.
did someone trip her and leave her alone? Let her
don't
go,
know.
or was there pre-gaming before the movie? We don't know.
All I know is
We
this
don't
is
know.
this is an obviously older lady. She's somebody's grandma, and they just were walking, and she just fell on the steps coming out
And
the
they just
theater,
kept going.
and they just kept going. They didn't even like turn around,
They
right? And
turned once they got to their car because their car was not that far into the
yeah,
parking
yeah.
lot. And
And
you're
they
just
see me
standing
like
there.
bent over their grandma, and they're like, "What's going on?" I said, "Hey, y'all know her? Because you meant you lose something."
Anyone that knows John in his life long enough, and I can go ahead
I don't know
and
where this is
vouch.
going.
There are situations that he gets himself in that just like, how did and I go back to look over like our marriage certificate, like where in the fine print was any of these adventures
Oh yeah.
listed?
Yeah. Like the time we got the hotel room next down the street from the prison. Yeah.
You couldn't open the door, the bathroom, or the closet at the same time.
Nah, that was a
And there
different
was also a
that was a
kick
wild
bar.
time. That was a wild time.
Because and again, growing up in New York, you would think I would know this, but I didn't. So thanks, mom, thanks, dad.
Yeah.
So there was this bar just in the door, like in the middle of like
That's
the
a bar, by the
hallway,
way. A bar is a bar. Just letting you know.
and didn't realize, but that because it was also bolted to the ground. I was like, why is it bolted? Because it's like got a swivel. And he's like, oh, that's a kick bar.
Yeah.
You put that up against the door once it's closed. So
Yeah.
it's not just the lock, it's not just the latch or the little thing. It's the bar up against the door so it doesn't get kicked in. I was like, oh.
Yeah. And you're like, why are we here? I said, why is it so
Okay.
crazy? I said, well, we are down the road from the prison, from the state prison. She's like, what? So
Okay.
yeah. It's all right. Good times.
Yep. Slept with one eye open. So
Trevor said, I trained to be able to chase my kids around and help keep my body moving. Body fat does not enter my equation anymore since I stopped competing in weight class sports over 5 years ago. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Sean said, it is hard when you're on a hot streak on a lift. Ditto on the bench. That's what I'm saying, man. It's like, man, you're like, I can put up with this a little bit longer, So yeah.
So with the novice lifter, I still think myself as a novice lifter, the need for body fat, and we have over 1,000 viewers right now, and
Oh yeah.
have those that are may not be aware. What is the importance of the body fat with powerlifting?
Okay, so there are a couple of factors in there. First thing is and this is something that I didn't really think about until somebody told me, but it makes sense. So when you lose weight of any kind, your body mass goes down, so the bar has to go a longer distance. So you're lifting, so it's like you're doing more work because you've got to push the bar further. And it may not feel like it matters, but especially if you're lifting raw, as in you're not wearing a bench press shirt, you tend to fail in the lift right off of your chest. And so you're increasing the distance. That's the hardest part whenever you lose weight, right? I don't know why I'm arching right now. I'm not actually benching. All right, then once I have it, then for a lift like the squat, the deadlift, like Dustin just said, weight moves weight. It's a leverage thing. So think about, remember I drew that thing of a catapult when I was showing the kids how to deadlift that time. It's it's like it changes your leverages for any lift. And then the final thing is body fat cushions your joints. so you don't tend to have as many aches and pains from lifting.
Mhm.
Um, Now, the negative side effect is too much body fat gives you joint pain because now you got extra pressure on your joints all the time.
Right.
So it's kind of a balancing act, but that's the basic thing. As soon as you start losing weight, losing too much weight, the first lift that typically goes down is your bench press. So
Mm.
there's
Okay.
that. Um, so Sean says I do cardio on rest days for the most part, and I mostly lift. He said I'm sitting around 25 to 27% body fat, and I stick to my protein goal every day. All right, that's solid.
Okay.
That's solid. And he said I try to lift 3 to 4 times a week. Okay. Trevor says nothing but shakes give your body the shakes. So when I first got into it, I was actually because I was still lifting like normal. Everything
Mhm.
else was the same. I switched to shakes, right? And I did it cold turkey because I was like, it's kind of like fasting. If you kind of ease into a fast, all you are
Mhm.
is hungry, right? But if you go and whenever I fast, I don't count the fast until I'm actually just drinking water. So I'm like, you might as well. What I'm doing is prolonging the misery. So just go from I had a meal yesterday, today I didn't, right?
Mhm.
Because if I say I'm going to fast 4 days, I don't count the fast starting till I'm only drinking water. So why make myself miserable for longer? And it's the same thing with the shakes. I just said the longer I take to go into this, the longer, whatever. Because I said I'm going to do 21 days of just shakes.
Mhm.
Well, if I ease into it, well, now I'm hungry because I'm eating less food and the shakes just prolonging the misery. So I went straight into it. And the first couple of days, I didn't have enough calories. And that's when Greg texted me. Actually, he was like, yo, dude, this is a it's like he put his hand on my shoulder from afar. He's like, brother, that's not enough
Yeah.
calories. That's funny. So yeah, so adding the heavy whipping cream, it was like for those who are students of Iron Game history, the heavy whipping cream made it kind of like the old Rio Blair bodybuilding shake. Gave that vibe. So it was great. It tasted great as a shake, but by day 10, I was ready to chew again. But I was like, I'm only 10 days into 21 days, so I had to I turned the shake
Improvise.
into pudding, and I would chew that. I would alternate chewing my pudding and drinking a shake. And then on one dark day, I ate my pudding and drank the shake. That way I could have dinner and a dessert, you know? Yeah, it's a sad day. Kevin says, Ohio. No, actually, that's not right. Ohio. All right. He says, which means good morning.
Yeah. It's
All
like
right.
I
Good
don't
morning.
know.
Let's see here. And Kevin also said, thanks, Naomi, for dropping by his live. He said,
Of
what's up
course.
to the Up Way Too Early fam? What's up, my man? And Ashley says, I have so many thoughts. Think about Anatoly. He's incredibly strong and moves heavyweight and very lean. So
Exactly.
I cannot wait to get you on here because we're definitely talking about that. But my response to that is if you're already lean, I
Mhm.
think you can build the strength back up, especially if you build up your tendon strength with lockouts and stuff.
Mhm.
It's the fact that I started the bench press thing because I noticed my bench was going up and I
Mhm.
wasn't already lean yet.
Okay.
Because so the goal is just for the people know, it's like the goal is hit the bench goal, cut the weight, and then try to build back up because then it'll be muscle memory, not trying to get it for the first time. At least now that could be wrong, completely wrong, but that's the theory behind what I'm doing. All right, so you guys continue to throw your answers to the question of the day in the live chat, and make sure you put them in the comment section. All right, so
Mhm.
um, go ahead and also make sure you're posting your questions and comments for Ashley. You guys can go ahead and start throwing them in there, and I'll star them so that when she comes on, we can do it. Next, we've got Mailbag Mondays is getting some serious traction, and we actually
Mhm.
have coming up on this Monday because we will be out of town. Our guy Kevin is going to be hosting Mailbag Monday. So you guys make sure you show up to support Kevin. The time is going to be the exact same. So he's going to actually be up very early. So he's going to share my pain for one day. He's going to be up very early and he is going to do Mailbag Mondays, the Mailbag Monday stream for me. So this is a great time for you guys to get your questions about the Japanese home gym community answered.
Mhm.
And just, in general, go ahead and support Kevin. Okay. And that video is the redirect from this one. So if you're watching right now, just watch it all the way to the end, and at the end, it'll automatically give you the link for that video. All right. Now, let's talk about some new stuff we got in the gym. First of all, our bells of I'm sorry, not our, because you can't, I'm not sharing, because you didn't have the right attitude when you saw the towel. The bells of steel towel has arrived. It's crooked. It's upside down. Hold on. It has arrived. Yes.
So
it has arrived.
To put it in perspective, okay, I was actually on a call with
I
recorded it at the same time, but I was also on the phone with a counterpart of mine, and
she's not invited to the cookout, by the way. I forgot to mention that.
Hilarious, because I was like, I think he's shedding a tear.
I was not crying. Look, okay, boom, right there. I'm gonna play that just for that right now.
Lo and behold, his towels have arrived that have been seized.
See, look at your face.
All this.
It's a special moment.
It was held
which I don't have.
Border, okay, held up at the Canadian border, Naomi.
Yes.
This is a momentous occasion.
Is it in gold?
I don't know yet. I haven't. All I did was open the package. I haven't even looked in there yet.
Because I know with built-in in cotton and polyester blend.
This is
we're
gonna confirm the amount of cotton by some sort of means.
That is a small towel. Wah, wah, wah.
It's a gym towel, just enough to wipe my face. That's all I needed. Upside down.
That's it.
And now I was like, for one, and then there was another one in there.
Like
a
doily.
No,
you know what?
It's like a gym washcloth.
It's a gym washcloth.
There you go. Good job
all
there,
right.
Bells of Steel. We appreciate you.
That's it.
Finally.
Just enough to cover your face.
All right.
But this is important. You can wipe your face, and that way you don't get like liniment in your eye.
Well, don't rub your eye with liniment.
You put how am I supposed to get the liniment off my hand after I put liniment on my shoulder if I don't have a
Valid question. See how she didn't have an answer, right?
Exactly. Thank you.
All right. Exactly. There you go. You see how she didn't have an answer for that last question, right?
Also, you notice how he also abruptly stopped the video.
That's like, no, that's it. We done this. The topic is over. We don't want to talk about old stuff. Anyway, so this right here is the towel. And for comparison purposes, this is the RitFit towel. All right? So I was not prepared, but in their defense, they did say it's a microfiber cleaning towel.
Yeah, okay? Yes. And I mean, and
we got two.
Nice, we got two. And it's a nice, I like the fabric of it and everything else.
I'm gonna wipe my face right now.
It again, the saga, no. What would you put this? The odyssey of the towel will live on for at least this quarter of 2026.
I've never heard of a towel being stuck at the Canadian or any border. Why is a towel stuck at the border?
I mean, it's not just a towel. It could be anything if there's for whatever reason for inspection. Listen, I had clothes.
Baby, do you hear the words you're saying?
I had.
You hear the words you're saying?
Yes, I heard it because I said it.
Yes. Items stuck at the border, set aside for inspection. It's a towel.
Have you not?
And why did the inspection take 2 days? Let me show y'all the towel. This is the towel. All right. All right. I'm gonna inspect it right now. 1, 2. All right. We're done.
First of all,
I don't know how to check the cotton content.
Open the pack. Well, sometimes they have to open the package. I mean, if you watch it on TV, I mean, again, if you
Carlos said the towel looks sus to the government. I'm just saying. I'm just like, why are you inspecting the towel for that long? It took 2 days. I sent Carlos the link. I said, look at this thing, screenshot, man. Look how long it took for them to inspect whatever they did with my towel what they did with my towel at the border.
It could again staffing, or it could, it's a small package. It could have gotten stuck behind a bigger package, and they just didn't find it until that got moved.
Tax dollars at work. I just want to know. Yeah, tax dollars. And I can't blame the Canadians. It's the U.S. side that's like saying, "Oh, we don't know if we're gonna let this in the country." I'm like, whatever, man. No, I was not crying, Kevin. Carlos said Trent could have sewn you one in the time it took to get to y'all. Hey, well, that wasn't an offer you made at the time. Now, was it, Carlos? Anyway, let's see here. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Carlos, Kevin said it's gonna be a fun Tuesday for him. He said I'm gonna drop some secret new items from X Master Fitness again. Said gonna get banned again. Oh boy, look, man.
Boy.
I think we just got you out of Facebook jail. Don't you know what? You a grown man. Do what you want.
You know what? Live dangerous. Live dangerous.
Trevor said you're a journalist. Investigate. Hey, I should like what's going on here with my tax dollars and this towel inspection. All right, the second thing that showed up at the house was the Black Widow Cambered Swiss bar. Did you get a chance to look at it?
Not yet,
Okay,
because you were unwrapping it when I was heading to bed.
Okay, so well, here it is.
New from guess who? Just arrived this morning. All right, let's open this box up and see what's in it.
How did I miss that box?
Packed very, very well.
Fast. It's fast like that.
Ooh, look at that. Nice cambered bar from Black Widow. That's right.
That's nice.
Shout out to my guy, Dean. Appreciate you, Devil Dog.
All right, so let's take that off of there. And
that's nice.
Let's go ahead. And that leads to the first screen share. Well, technically not the first. Yeah, it is. It's the first screen share of the day. You know what that means. First screen share of the day. That's right. Try to stay calm. And so this is it on their website, or on his website, rather. Mm-hmm. So that's it. I'll give you guys some specs in case anybody's wondering. So it comes with that powder coat. That's the standard textured black powder coat that Dean uses that I fell in love with at Home Gym Con. Waved over and over again. I said, man, these pull-up bars feel awesome. That's the same powder coat that's on that bar. And I got it so it could give me increased range of motion for, once again, bench press, because our dumbbells aren't heavy enough for me to, I mean, they're heavy enough for me to use, but they're too light. I'd have to do too many reps, and I ain't got time for all that. It is 78.5 inches long, and you get 11.5 inches of plate loading space if you're using Olympic plates. Okay. And now we got comments. All right, so there we go. All right. So hey, Carpet's arrived. That's right.
Yep.
Folks, see in the building. So I'm gonna tell you guys something. I didn't plan on bringing this up. So Carp made me go to bed last night. Kevin made sure I woke up this morning. Okay, because I got messages from both of them. Carp was like, hey, you got to be up early in the morning. You need to go to bed, because we were texting back and forth. And this morning, I saw a message from Kevin like, hey, you up? You good? Did you get that message from last night? I was like, look at this. I mean, that's support. All right. Also, you know, like this is, it was unexpected. So I appreciate it.
However, it was like, what, 3:45 our time?
When I woke up?
Yeah, because you woke me up.
I love you.
Thanks.
Carlos said that bar is very nice. Jared, hey, I was going to tell you it was on the way, but I like surprising you. He's like, whoa. Yeah, I love that thing, man. It's not all neutral grips. There are 2 angle grips on the bar. I don't know if they've got a, hang on a second here. This is probably the best picture I can give you, because obviously I can't bring that it's pretty big, so I couldn't bring it all the way up here, which is why I did a video. But this is it. So you can see the 2 outside grips are angled, and then the ones in the middle are all neutral grip. All right, so hope that answers your question, Jared. I did put the link in the video description, so if you just go to the video description, scroll down, you guys will see the link to it, so you guys can go check it out if anybody's interested. This is not a promo code. I'm just letting you guys know about the bar, because I think it looks great, and I think it's a great product. All right, this is a topical thing. I think we got a little bit of time to talk about it. And this is there's an article from Perform Better that I was checking out, and it talked about the psychological side of weight training that no one talks about. And so let's go ahead and first of all, let me clean up some of the stuff that's here in the studio. Get rid of this junk here. And I thought it was worth talking about. So it says, you know, basically it's by Susanna Fisher. So shout out to her. I will share this link with anybody who wants it. But it says, everybody knows about the positive effects of weight training. It changes your body, gives you self-confidence, affects your self-talk, your identity. You learn patience because after a certain point the gains slow down and you have to like kind of it's like a process, right? But they said that most of the time when you get fitness tips, they skip the mental side effects of training. So as I said, it's great when it's great, but then you can start putting pressure on yourself when your progress slows down because there are pitfalls. Like you're chasing, like I'm chasing a number right now. If I don't let it, if I let it, that could get into my head, especially if I see somebody else do it. That's common if you compete in a sport and there's other people who do the same thing, who are ahead of you or whatever. Because that goes to the next thing. It's like you could compare your results. You're comparing your results to others. One thing I think is a big one from social media is like people skip rest days. What is this rest muscle and how do you train it? Yeah, whatever. It's like, winners are grinding. Well, not really. Okay. If you don't get enough rest, all you're going to do is set yourself up for failure. Also, you can start having anxiety under the bar because if the weight is heavy, you're approaching it like when you were going for your deadlift, PR, I could see you had to kind of like give yourself like, hey, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. You can get anxiety under the bar. And then some lifts can, just by their nature of how tough they are, they can burn you out if you do them too often. So I think it's important to rotate. So for you, what is the biggest, I don't know, psychological, I don't want to say negative, but the biggest thing you have to watch out for in terms of lifting and the psychological side effects of it?
I mean, I think for me, is it, well, first, when I first got into it, because you already know, like, I didn't like lifting originally, and then I started lifting, and I enjoy, and I saw the impact that it had on my physique and just on my progress with the weightlifting. I guess it's like I'm not at that point where I'm like I want to hit these big numbers, but I think the positives. I haven't really had any negatives yet. But like I've told you, like when I was able to do rows, so I usually was doing like about 15, 20 pounds. And then recently I was like, oh, that seems so light because I'm doing in that time using the ladder app, instead of doing 8 to 10 reps, I'm doing 12 to 14. So I was like, let me up the weight. And I was pulling 35s and I was like, whoa. And I guess sometimes I shortchange myself when it comes down to maybe taking that next step in regards to increasing my weight on lifts. So I don't think that's a negative. I think when I'm successful, that's definitely a positive. I think the thing that I may question is whether I have the ability to pull it.
Like, can I do this?
Can I do it?
Especially if you've never been strong in a certain lift.
Right. Now, granted, there are times, and John will tell you this, he'll have the bar set up for him to do his deadlift, and it's got like 250, 300 on the bar. And I'll just walk over and he goes, you're not, no, don't. And I'll
that's like the first lift of the day. I'm like, hold on.
And I'll just go ahead and get like set up on it. And he goes, and I'll pull the slack out of it and try it. It doesn't go anywhere, but hey,
this is like getting out of she gets up out of her chair in her office, walks around the corner and says, oh, I'll just try to pick that up. And I'm like, I don't feel like, okay, go ahead.
I mean, I just kind of like,
But that just shows that you're getting into it. That's the other thing too. So I actually like the fact that it's like, I cherish the fact that you enjoy it now, whether in the past it was like, oh, that's your hobby and I'm not, like you were patient and you humored me if I hit a PR. And I'm not saying that you weren't excited, but it wasn't like a shared, oh yeah, I know how that feels. It's more like, oh, that's your thing. Good job. I'm proud of you because I'm just generally proud of you. So it means more now if I hit a PR because I know you lift also and you understand. So yeah.
Right. I guess it's like when you'd come to the events for triathlons and you would like the first event is the swim and you're standing there at the water's edge going, yeah, not going there. but you know, I'll be here on the other side when you get back.
Yeah.
And I know you asked me, it's like, well, like, what are some metrics that you use to calculate? And you know, I already have had, you know, over 10 triathlons under my belt, and I'm there to, you know, do it for fun, or I'm looking at in my age group, you know, how many are competing in my age group, and then where I rank. Am I good, getting better? Am I about the same?
Yeah.
But I don't let it, I don't dwell on it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that that's one of the pitfalls of all the connected training, where you can see like leaderboards and things like that. Because when I was competing in powerlifting, I was constantly, and you have to, but I was constantly like, okay, how did I do compared to the other people in my age group? You know, because when I started powerlifting, I think I competed 1 year, and then I was immediately submasters. So I'm looking at all the other submasters, like, you know, how strong am I compared to them? You know, that kind of thing. But you just can't I don't think you can let it affect you to the point that you lose sight of the fact that you're getting better yourself.
Right.
So that's pretty much it. I just want to touch on this, and then we're going to do Recliner of Rage, because I'll just shift this and talk about it with Ashley. So I had 2 separate conversations with people who watch this show, and they both mentioned that they're no longer in the gym equipment buying phase. So they lost interest in watching product reviews. Like, I didn't bring that up. I was just like, hey, what's going on? Like, they brought it up, right?
You're just checking in.
Conversation. Yeah. One guy I was checking in with him because I hadn't heard from him in a while. And then the other one, we were just talking. And he said that he doesn't watch a ton of stuff, but he still watches this show because it's not just focused on, you know, stuff, right? On equipment. Right. Anyway, and I said, look, just being candid, this is one reason why I started to lean away from the what's on sale segment that I used to do on the show. I just feel that there's less interest in that among people who have had home gyms for a while.
Right.
And I also think that there are other people who do a great job of talking, like Jake's podcast does a great job of talking about what's on sale. And so I don't feel like that's our path. But that person said he's been in a training rut, and I think that it's easy to use getting new toys for the gym as a way to motivate yourself to train, but at a certain point, it kind of like it doesn't do it anymore, you know, because you can only get new stuff for so long, and you know, so I just feel like it's important that we provide different kinds of content. So with that being said, I'm going to play this different kind of content right now, and then we'll go into Recliner Rage, and then after Recliner Rage, so just hang around, and then after Recliner Rage, I'll let you go, okay? Because I want to see your reaction to this thing right now.
One day, the whole world went crazy. A normal person in this situation would find a safe place to hide. But nothing about this mess is normal. And normal people die easier.
Oh my God. I was having a bad dream. Worst nightmare I ever had. I would never squat that high. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Oh, achievement unlocked. Achievement unlocked. Oh, see that look on her face? Oh, that's what I'm talking about, right?
And ladies and gentlemen, this is what I live with.
Okay.
On a daily. So it's
and now we're gonna segue directly into it's the Recliner of Rage.
It's the Recliner of Rage, 'cause he's not happy.
Okay, so today's Recliner Rage is related to the video you just watched, okay? But not for the I know why Naomi's upset. I think that's a masterpiece. But I have Recliner Rage because it is dedicated to the dude, not related to that video. It's dedicated to the dude on Fiverr who created the commercial you guys just saw, and is dedicated to him because he made the process way too complicated, way more difficult than it needed to be. So first of all, he didn't follow instructions as one. All right. I specifically asked for bald, clean shaven, black dude. Okay. Bald, clean shaven, black. Okay. He sent me version 1 of the video with a bearded, long-haired white dude. I said, I can't use that. Massonomics is going to get me for trademark infringement. Also, the original voiceover sounded way too happy about it being a zombie apocalypse. It was like, one day the world went crazy. I'm like, man, okay. So anyway, I said, but I'm calm because I communicate with people. So I reiterated what I wanted to say. Version 2 was obviously a half-hearted attempt to cover up the workout scene that y'all saw, the completed workout scene, because all he did was just put that front-facing scene originally so the guy was facing sideways. And all he did was just do it a halfway overlay over on top of that. So I could still see the original video in the back. It didn't even look like the same place. I said, okay. So we discussed that calmly. I calmly discussed that with him. Then in version 3, so for version 3, I just said, hey, look, man, just cut out the side shot of the dude squatting. And because you have to fill up the time for the voiceover, I said, just put like a shot of a door opening into the gym, which I felt was reasonable. And then go straight into the front shot of the dude squatting, all right, who was finally black by version 3. Okay, so also I said, I want you to immediately, first of all, he's squatting high. He ain't about to be squatting high because I know people gonna think it's me. It's not, because I don't squat high. But he's squatting high and he ain't have but 315 on the bar. I said, I refuse to be associated with somebody who squats high with just 315. I said, so you will immediately add at least 2 more plates on each end of the bar right now. You do that right now. Okay, so he did that. Especially my man got my logo on his chest. You better anyway. You forget yourself, sir. Immediately add at least 2 extra plates on the bar. So my man sends me this video and the door is like bright white, like it's come out of Southern Living Magazine or Better Homes and Gardens. Again, I was like, look, this does not look like it's the same place. So I tell him, hey man, you need to fix the door. He had the audacity to tell me, well, you know, you're out of revisions, but I'll just do this last one, but you are out of revisions. So I pointed out that the first 3 revisions wouldn't have been necessary if he had followed my very clear and simple instructions that I wrote down and sent to him in the first set of instructions that I originally sent to him. Finally, he sent me the final version that y'all saw, but I still had to make a final adjustment in DaVinci Resolve. So needless to say, that guy's fired. I will admit that I did want to book a flight to India for the express purposes of grant somebody, just kind of shake him a little bit, right? But you know, that's how you get on a no-fly list. So I didn't. So now I'm just complaining on here instead. So that's what we're doing instead.
The fact that you found someone willing to create your mad ideas is, I'm gobsmacked.
So Carp says depth before dishonor. There you go, Carp. Exactly.
Now I will say, watching that, I was like, he didn't even try.
Thank you. It got our logo on his shirt.
I was like,
that's a violation.
It's kind of like the videos you see when what is that? Anytime Fitness. You have all the like people like working out incorrectly, and they have like Anytime Fitness or Planet Fitness or any of these other, and it's like, what are you doing?
Like, so where's the quality control on this video? Like, there's certain things you just don't allow. And he had the nerve. Did you see his legs shaking? I was like, come on, man. How's your legs shaking underneath? That's 350.
It's a cartoon.
It's the exact, I don't care. It's the exact same video. I just told him, you better ask him to wait to the bar if my man's legs are going to be shaking and he high squatting. Nah, absolutely not. No, definitely not. Absolutely not. So, no.
Again, it's the... So, you guys don't suffer with all the AI. You know, I saw
Carlos does.
Yeah, Carlos. No, Carlos has just the tip of the iceberg. He has yet to experience half of the junk.
If you all would like to get on the text thread to get these AI encouraging motivational videos, just let me know. Trevor said, Naomi, just like I tell my wife, you said yes. When I asked you to marry me, you said yes. So you only have yourself to blame.
I was doing chores at the time when you asked me.
You hit the jackpot. All right. Carlos wants to know if I'm AI. No.
Carlos, you
Hey,
have
like
no
Jennifer
idea.
Lopez, I'm real. You understand? Because I'm real. The way you walk, the way you move. That's me. That's right. Lightweight, baby. Anyway, before we go to LinkedIn, why don't you tell everybody how they can follow you and subscribe to all the stuff that you got going on YouTube?
Apparently, everything I have going on YouTube, you see right here, on a regular basis. But you can come and check me out on Instagram under Naomi Greaves, or here on YouTube at Naomi Harris Greaves. Check it out, join, and thanks for your support.
How you say thanks for your support like you're going through something?
You're put it on display for everyone to see.
I don't feel like that's true at all. I feel like, look, you hit the jackpot. All right, you're welcome.
Now, the only thing I will say before wrapping up, because I know you thought it was hilarious, but like you had asked me, like, where did your headphones go?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So, y'all didn't even know those headphones were under there, did you? Did y'all see that?
It's not. They're not earrings. It's just it's hiding underneath there.
Yeah.
So,
there you go. That's it.
But at least it's secure. It's secure, and
definitely.
There you go.
Hey, that's your new look. Hey, everybody's got their signature look, and that's you right there. I love it. I like it. I like it. Take it easy.
A lot of work.
And don't listen to nothing Trevor says about bacon. I'll see you later on.
I will go ahead and make floppy bacon.
No.
Yeah.
I think we need to change the adjective in there to crispy. Okay? Love you. Bye-bye. All right. Love you. Bye-bye. All right. It is now 6:56. We are getting ready to add our friends from LinkedIn, which means it's time for me to go ahead and do the things to add LinkedIn. Throw this right here. Okay. Looks like we're in business. All right. So let's go ahead and add LinkedIn right now. All right. Good morning. It is 6:56, 5:56 technically in the Central Time Zone. So shout out to those of you in the Central Time Zone. We appreciate all of you for starting your Friday by getting up way too early with Garage Home Life. Once again, we're heading to the second hour of the show. If you are watching on LinkedIn, make sure that you guys are not only watching and sharing this video, but also make sure that you follow our show page on LinkedIn, Up Way Too Early with Garage Gym Life. That way you don't miss a single episode as we continue to interview the most influential business owners, CEOs, and content creators who influence the home fitness community. That's both longtime veterans and new people on the scene. And speaking of veterans, that includes today's guest, who's a veteran in many ways. Our buddy Ashley Hiromiak from the Ashley the Amazing YouTube channel. Ashley has, the only word I have for this is impressive. Ashley has an impressive list of accomplishments, from earning her jump wings as a U.S. Army Airborne Ranger to standing on a bodybuilding stage, coaching others to success on the competition platform, earning her master's in kinesiology. She leads, I believe she's the first female cadre for Go Ruck. I could literally spend half of our allotted time just talking about all the cool stuff she's done. I don't impress easily because I've been around impressive people, and Ashley impresses me. And so, Ashley, you are normally training clients or yourself at this time, but you always have the show on in the background. So once again, thank you so much for getting up way too early with Garage Gym Life.
Hey, good morning, John.
What's up?
Hey.
Hey, that's like that's your signature hello. It's like, hey. What's going on? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
Is that the new gym?
Yeah, this is the new gym.
That looks so different. I mean, because obviously I don't like watch the did you do like I don't know, you did like a gym tour, so I saw that. I guess the lighting was different in it, but the wood looks darker in the background right now.
Yeah, I had to turn out the lights back there so it wasn't
a glare. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So speaking of the new gym, you've been busy as usual. You not only moved the entire operation from Virginia to Ohio, but you also decided to enter a High Rocks competition. I get that desire to die empty, with no regrets, like with zero regrets. But do you ever have to like force yourself to not take on challenges? Are they like, oh, make sure Ashley doesn't hear about this because she'll do it, right? Just for the sake of not burning out. Like you just have to like say, okay, you seem like the sort of person that schedules rest time.
Absolutely, I do. I actually do have a little planner, not only for like work and appointments, but I have a whole section for like events and competitions that I can do and ones that I want to do, but I know I shouldn't. So I actually do have to schedule it all out, because if I could, I would do it all. But that's not a good thing.
No. Well, you know what is a good thing? I just saw this comment. I'm going to acknowledge it right now. Carlos said, so Carlos is working out right now. He said he just benched 270 pounds. So while watching Recliner raise. So, hey, shout out to you, Carlos. Man, I love that, dude. Make sure you post a video because I know you're recording it. So make sure you post a video. What's cool is he said in the chat earlier, he said, yeah, my next goal is 270. And he got that during Recliner raise. So I love that, man. I love it. And he gives you a shout out, says 332. I still say that when whenever I'm putting your Instagram handle, I actually say it out. I say 332 to remind myself of it. Yeah, so I can make sure I do it right. Thing. Yeah. All right. Carp said she squats to depth. That is 100% correct.
Thank you. Thank you, Coach Carp. Thank you.
That's right. Sean said beast mode has been activated. And Dustin says she has 1 million accomplishments and accolades, and that is 100% facts. I think actually you probably intimidate people, and that's kind of related to some of the comments I see that you get. I'm like, I'll bet you some of these people are just intimidated when they see like all that you've done, which is, to be honest, dang it, I said it. I'm trying not to say to be honest because they said that's my verbal filler. Anyway, that's their problem.
It is. But yeah, I do meet a lot of people that are intimidated, but that's their problem.
And you're the nicest person on the planet.
Right? You just give me a chance and I come in peace. Like I just want to be friends with everyone.
She is literally the nicest, happiest person on the planet. I'm like, I don't even understand it. Let's talk about High Rocks though. And Sean, I know, is on here, and Sean's into High Rocks. So if you got any High Rocks related questions, or any of you, go ahead and throw them in here. While Ashley's on. I saw someone say that High Rocks is just CrossFit rebranded. So there's two questions there. First of all, do you agree with that statement? And then number two, I get that some people were turned off by the political stuff in CrossFit, but what do you think is making High Rocks popular now?
Okay, so High Rocks. The first thing is it is not CrossFit. High Rocks is a set number of stations and running. It is the same workout. It is repeatable. You know what's coming. There's no barbell work. So it's the skill needed for High Rocks is very low. When we think about CrossFit, it's very varied. It's all over the place. There's gymnastics, there's barbell work. I mean, you have to be ready for anything and everything. And the reason people like High Rocks is, one, it's not as political. Two, you know what's coming. And the fact that you have a set number of stations and running, right? Everything is objective. So if I run a High Rocks and Sean does the High Rocks, we compare our times, we can see like that the playing field is level, right? There's gonna be no variation between if I compete in Vegas, he competes in England. It doesn't matter, right? Because it's the same playing course. Where if you like CrossFit, you could use, people are using different barbells, different plates, are they calibrated? So there's a lot of different variables that come into play with CrossFit. Plus, I personally am not a fan of where CrossFit is going. I'm not a fan of, I'm going to say this out loud, of Dave Castro and his programming. I think that there's no real scientific evidence-based way that he's doing that, especially right now because the CrossFit Open is going on, and they just released the third of the final of the 3 workouts yesterday, and it's absolute trash. If you looked on the internet, a lot of people are bashing it, and for many good reasons. I think it's pretty garbage too. So High Rocks is just, and it's more accessible to more people. As I said, there's not a lot of gymnastics work or anything like that. So the low skill level kids can do it, women, men, older people, like anybody can do it. It's literally, they have adaptive athletes, so it can be done by anyone and everyone. Where CrossFit, it's kind of a niche group where you have to be like 20s, 30s, good shoulders, good knees, and the ability to beat yourself up over and over and over with limited recovery.
Yeah, Carlos caught me saying, to be honest. They all been roasting me because they say I say to be honest too much. And Eric said he made it in for Ashley. That's how I enticed him. I said, hey, Ashley's gonna be on there. I just blanket statement to all a bunch of people. Hey, Ashley's coming on the show. You gotta watch. All right.
I love some Eric Eccles. He's one of the OGs, right?
That's right. That's right. That's my dude. Heck yeah. So I'm gonna say the thing. So I've never done CrossFit. I respected the methodology in the very, very beginning. I remember guys like Zach Evanesh, who I have a lot of respect for. They started out like kind of like with a CrossFit-ish background, but then I noticed that a lot of them were moving from CrossFit, which is like constantly varied, random movements, into actual programming because they were trying to program for athletes, trying to get them better. And it's difficult to, in my opinion, it's difficult to program for an athlete, especially someone who's doing a sport where you have to measure performance, event after event.
Yeah.
If you're doing something random, because how do I know I got better if what I do today isn't like what I did yesterday or the day before that, or even last month? I think they take the idea of conjugate a bit too far. And while I may not have an issue with it from a competition standpoint, you're like, okay, I'm training all this stuff, so I'm ready for anything you throw at me. I don't have a problem with competitions being random, but I do think that just because the athletes performing or competing don't know what's coming next, you have to think, if you're organizing it, okay, what are the implications of this? Because we saw when that guy drowned, this is the implication of putting some of these things in the sequence you put them in. And that's really what turned me off of CrossFit. I don't even watch the CrossFit Games anymore because I'm like, dude, the way y'all do stuff literally killed somebody.
Yeah.
And that's not cool.
It's not. And there is a method to the madness, especially when we're talking like triathlons. Right. There's a reason why the swim is first.
Right.
Right. Because it is the highest risk. Swim, run, bike. Yep. And that's where I disagree with a lot of things that Dave Castro does for CrossFit. Yes. Yeah, I disagree with it because he had the run first, which then you're having athletes who are in the sun, possibly slightly dehydrated from their workout, getting into water with not enough lifeguards. So that was a situation that just blew my mind, blew everyone's mind. It's just like, wait, how did you not think that through? So
and you also think about, like, if you're hot, like you said, then you get in cold water.
Yeah.
Because it's not like it's a heated pool. You're out in the water and it's, the water tends to stay at the same temperature the deeper you go. And I'm like, that just makes, I don't think this is a good idea. So
yeah, no, not at
all. So now we've trashed CrossFit thoroughly. Let's talk about rucking, which I'm not going to trash. Because you are into rucking. I haven't done any rucking. I mean, we've like walked in the woods. That's not rucking. All right. I haven't done any rucking since I left the military. And from the outside looking in, I think rucking, like obstacle course racing, maybe even high rocks, is growing in popularity because those events build connection. There are studies that show that people are seeking in real life connections, especially and even more post-COVID than they did prior to the pandemic, just because people want to connect and they want to connect in person, not online necessarily, right? So talk about the rucking experience and why people should try it and why they should try it through Go Ruck.
Rucking is definitely one of the trends. It's on the uprise, and there's many reasons. One, it's low impact. So there's a lot of people that maybe used to run that don't run anymore because of their knees, their ankles, their backs. So running allows you to still have cardiovascular fitness because you're still you're having weight on your back. So if you're not sure what rucking is, so rucking is when you have think about military, you have a weighted pack or weighted backpack on your back, and you're just walking, whether it's through your neighborhood, through the woods. It's a little bit different than walking with a weight vest. When you have a weight vest on, the weight is distributed evenly between your front and your back. When you have a ruck on, the weight is behind you. So it causes you to work on stability a little bit more, body posture, just your overall awareness. And another really great thing about rucking is not only does it work your cardiovascular fitness, and I said in low impact, but it also gives you the opportunity to do progressive overloading. So you can start with a 10-pound weight and go to 15, go to 20, and then keep upping the weight and the intensity which is also going to help with your bone density, with just overall like muscle building. So there are a lot of positives for rucking, if you're looking for something that's community based as well. So there's the Go Ruck community. I am the first female Go Ruck cadre. Go Ruck has been around since 2011. Yep. And they have a website, goruck.com. And if you go to their events page, they have all kinds of different events you can sign up for, from beginner, intro, takeovers and 5Ks, all the way up to, they have some that are like 30 miles. So it's such a good community too. You get there, everybody's really kind. You all like have your rucks, you can swap patches, and you just go on these rucks together, these weighted walks, and you get to learn things and talk about things and network. And it is just a solid community. I'm very grateful to be a part of. The picture you're showing now is Green Beret Fitness. That's another company. So they do kind of competitive rucking, which I absolutely love. So that one's a little more like a step up. It's more advanced than Go Ruck. So Green Beret Fitness, you have to, they give you a all trails
like a
map,
time.
And yeah, so you have weight requirements, time requirements, and you have to do the land navigation yourself on the trail. So that's a little bit more technical, but that one's a lot of fun. Those are really
I was about
hard.
to say, it sounds like land nav after you like kind of described it.
Absolutely.
Nice.
And they plan really hard courses. So that's definitely a step up from the Go Ruck events.
So that's like I can see the progression. So you say, okay, maybe if I'm not sure about this, I try Go Ruck. And then after I've been doing it for a while, maybe I'll go and try one of the Green Beret Fitness events if I want to try to compete. So I like that. We have one more comment, and this is from Dustin about Dave Castro. He said, Dave Castro will program a hodgepodge of movements without thought in hopes that only one person will finish the workout. I get the idea of like, you don't want everybody to be able to do it, right? Because obviously then it's not a competition. If everybody can do it, it's not a competition. But I also think, and I would strongly argue for making it something that most of the people can complete, and then you judge them on time. But everybody survives, right? If you think about a marathon, which is one of the hardest things, even ultra marathons, most of the people who enter the ultra marathon, because obviously they train for it, you don't just start out, just take off running. Most of them will complete it. They get judged on time, and they have a ton of thought put into safety.
Yes.
This stuff that I see just seems crazy. First, you had the guy who got paralyzed. Then you had somebody die. I'm like, okay, I feel like maybe we should let's pump the brakes just a little bit, not too much, no more. Okay.
Yeah.
So Sean said, I got injured before would have been my first High Rocks in Chicago. So now I'm eyeing Nashville this December. Oh, sweet.
So Sean just sent me a message yesterday that High Rocks is actually releasing more events in the US later this year, which, because they're always sold out. It's really hard to get into those events. So him and I were talking yesterday about some potential upcoming places in the US that High Rocks is going to open the second half of 2026.
So my dad lives in Nashville. So depending on what the date is in December, if you let me know, Sean, Naomi and I'll try to come and support you. Okay. So, and then maybe we'll go to Waffle Taco afterwards, because I have determined, Rory and I said we're going to go to Waffle Taco, and it never works out that we can go. We're going to figure out a way to get to Waffle Taco, which is exactly what it sounds like. I've never been there, but have you seen the sign?
No.
Oh, okay. This is not at all. This is not at all like something that was on the menu. Okay, I'm gonna just show you a photo. This is Waffle Taco. Okay, let me screen share this. This is all I've seen is the outside of the restaurant. Okay, prepare yourself.
Okay,
that's it. You see that?
Not yet. It's loading. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like, I don't even know what happens in there, but that just looks amazing. I was like, let's go. I was like, let's just go in there and see what happens. All right. Okay. So back to rucking. Trevor said that proper fitment and positioning of the ruck is key as well, and that's true. If you don't have everything set up the right way, you know, like it just like bang you walking and just banging against your lower back, and you just miserable for a while. Ugh.
There's absolutely a way, and I actually have some of those videos on my Instagram about how to like size your ruck, how to fit your ruck, because if you're going to do it, you need it to be comfortable so that you can continue doing it, that you want to do it, that you want to show up. So yes, fitting your ruck is absolutely a very important aspect of rucking.
All right, and Scone Frey, is it Fry or Frey? Says Ruck, yeah. Hey, I appreciate it. I don't know if this is your first time being on the show, but I appreciate you stopping by. I know you came for Ashley. I'm just saying I appreciate you being here though. I hope you come back. Let's see. Dean, what's up, Dean? He says, hey, what's up, Dean?
Dean, another Dean one of the OGs that I absolutely am just I love Dean.
Dean has been on a few humps, I know. It just says because he's a fellow Marine. So let's see here. So Kevin, got a first question for you related to the actual reason you're here, and that's to talk about strength and conditioning. So Kevin said, Ashley, as I told you, my mom, who's 60, and my sister both just started. I told them 2 times a week is enough. I mix machines and free weights in a simple linear progression, and I can't be there with them, by the way. So what would be your kind of like response to Kevin? Because it sounds like he's looking for like kind of like additional guidance.
So Kevin, if you're programming things for them, I would say definitely make sure that they understand the movements and get them familiar with progressions that lead them to self-confidence building exercises. So if they are a little intimidated or new to the gym, you'll definitely introduce dumbbells, but don't be afraid every once in a while to throw like a similar barbell movement. Maybe you get the Bella bar and just kind of introduce them, because when women can learn some new skills, especially when it comes to weight training, it builds so much confidence and self-esteem. So don't be afraid to, if you're not able to be there with them, you could send them, I've done this with a lot of my online clients. If I program something new, there's so many resources on the internet. I sent them links to YouTube videos that are great descriptors of like, hey, this is how you're going to learn this part of the exercise. So they have an idea, and give them that. This is gonna be a challenge. And once they do it, they're gonna get so much confidence, not only learning a new skill, but just the fact that they can lift a barbell, and that they feel good about themselves. So for women, I feel like it's super important.
Okay. Because one of the things that helped Naomi is we started out with we had a women's bar. And so she started out using that, and now she's just now started using a 45-pound bar because she's graduated. There's so many, like, if you don't have a women's bar and you want to get your significant other, and it's a woman, into lifting, first thing I say is just get her a bar, because it's going to be lighter, and so it's less intimidating. It's also going to be sized for her hands, so it's less comfortable. I mean, less uncomfortable for her to hold. Just like an axle bar is harder to use for a man or anyone with larger hands. And in fact, that led to, because ironically, HFA is coming up, and Naomi has already instructed me I am not to do this again, because I went into HFA last year. There was a seminar that were talking about making the gym friendlier to women. And I said, they were talking about all this stuff. We need to have a separate area for women. We need to, I was like, okay. I said, just out of curiosity, do you guys have women's bars? And all the women, and I mean all, and this is a packed room. Naomi wasn't there, so she could stop me. There's a packed room, right? All the women, I'm in the back, their heads did like, women's bars? What's that? Like, I'm like, okay. And they said, well, we try to do what our clients ask for. I said, your clients won't know that women's bars exist, because that's your job to provide the stuff for them. They just showed up and trusted you to have what they need. And that just frustrates the crap out of me.
I have 3 different 15-kilogram bars, so 3 different women's bars. I mean, I have tons of your standard 45s, but I personally, I prefer the ladies bar. It is more comfortable. It is 10 pounds lighter, but just that smaller diameter, it's easier for me to navigate around. I prefer that bar. And I mean, you can still load it up just as heavy as a men's bar, but just that bar itself. And I know you, Naomi, I've heard her talk about this, kind of looping back to like RitFit and their mermaid bar. I find that if you can get a woman a bar that's kind of fun and, some matching plates, it definitely makes the experience better for her. But for me, I hate metal plates. They're not fun for me. They're big and heavy, but I love my colorful sparkle. And it makes the lifting more enjoyable for me. I feel like I have something, I have an investment in it. I feel like it's more me. So I guess another would be if they're serious about it, get them maybe a set of fun 10-pound plates or a fun barbell that they're like, okay, this is my barbell. I'm going to gain strength and confidence. I enjoy using it. Like, just, you know, make the gym, include their personality in the gym as well.
Nice. 100%. So let's see here. We got a question from Trevor. He said, Ashley, do you have any tips for back maintenance for a fellow paratrooper with a messed up lower back?
Absolutely. So I would say if your back is messed up, I would definitely recommend stretching your calves and your hip flexors, which, I mean, I could get on the ground right now and show you exactly what I'm talking about. And I would also have you do some glute ham raises and some back extensions. Not heavy. I wouldn't recommend you go heavy, but just build the strength in your glutes, your lower back, and your erectors so you could support your spine. No need to overload them too much. You just do quality, good contractions, hold at the top. So build that posterior back, your posterior chain, and stretch the front.
Beautiful. I love it. Let's see here. So we got, okay, here's another question. This is from Jared. He says, for Ashley, good morning. If you haven't already, have you ever considered powerlifting or strongwoman as a pursuit? I told y'all, don't suggest stuff to her. She'll go do it.
So, great question. Hi, Jared. It's good to see you. One of the OGs again. No, I have never considered powerlifting for two reasons. Once in 2019, I tore my right pec. I had to have surgery. So any kind of heavy benching, I only have 60% range of motion on my right side. Oh, wow. So okay. Benching isn't great for me. And then I do have degenerative disc disease. So I don't have my cartilage and bones in my lower spine are degenerating. I have some arthritis as well as a herniated disc. So I'm kind of limited when it comes to axial or spinal loading. So really, really heavy squats and pulling exercises that compresses the spines are not conducive to me. So that's probably one of the only reasons I would have done it had I not had these. And these are injuries from being in the Army and jumping out of planes. Right. So had I not have those, I would definitely I would have done powerlifting, but my body is not able to handle that kind of stuff anymore.
Jameson, what's up, man? He said, hey. And you can tell he's an OG because he said 332. Right? You can always tell the OGs because they call you 332. He's a replay game, but glad to see you. Carp says waffle taco. Yes, I'm telling you, it is in Nashville. I'm not going to tell you where it is because I don't want you to go without me. But we're going to go to Waffle Taco. It's going to happen. I promise you. Let's see here. I think, okay, so let's go to the questions that are in here, and then we'll circle around to the Anatoly thing. Kevin said, my wife started with the Mesa 15-pound technique bar. Unfortunately, both of them joined a 24-hour gym, Planet Fitness style. But yeah, thanks, Ashley, will do. So, hey, man, look, at least they're in there, they're working, and they're moving. Yeah. That's what matters. Eric says, so you're saying I should get a pink bar for my daughter? Yes.
Yeah. If she likes pink.
Well, yeah, that's true too. Yeah. So we got our daughter my oldest son got our daughter a bar when we were at Fringe Sport when they were in the old location. We stopped by, we did a kind of like a facility tour with them, and he saw this little purple bar, and he said, I'm gonna get that for Nora, and he picked it up for her, and yeah, she loves the thing. And now, I mean, she can actually lift Naomi's mermaid bar. So we have it set aside for our granddaughter for when she comes to visit.
Nice.
So yeah, it's so definitely, yes, get her the bar. And Trevor said, this is my barbell. There are many like it, but this one is mine. Hey.
Trevor knows.
My barbell is my best friend. It is my life. All right. So let's see here. All right. So now let's go to the star thing because this was like the topic we were talking about a little bit earlier. Okay. And for those of you who just tuned in, I'll just kind of quickly recap. So the question of the day is for people who are attempting to hit a specific goal on the bench. Do you hesitate about losing body fat because you're scared it's going to affect your number or on the bench? Hit a specific number in a lift. Do you hesitate to lose body fat because you're afraid that the weight loss process will cause you to lose strength? And then if you are just trying to maintain muscle mass, do you avoid losing weight because you're like, I don't want to lose, you're afraid of getting small. It's like, I don't want to call it body dysmorphia because that can be a serious condition. I don't want to like make light of it, but you know what I'm saying. It's like some people are like, my sleeve, I like my shirt sleeves tight, even if my belt is also tight. And then for women, it's like the opposite thing. Like sometimes I know that women have a fear of getting bulky, and so they don't want to lift heavy or whatever. So let's start with the fear of losing fat because of the losing numbers on the bar. And you said, I have so many thoughts. Think about Anatoly. That is my hero, by the way. All right.
Yeah.
Anatoly's the man. It's the socks with sandals. That was it for me. But he's also very strong. He's incredibly strong, and he moves heavyweight, and he's very lean. So, so go ahead and you can comment on that, and then or expand on your comment, and then I'll also add in what Dustin said at the time too.
Yeah. When we're looking at, weight moves weight, that is true. But if you wanted to do a cut and maintain your strength, you could easily maintain your strength by doing a slow cut. So maybe like half a pound or more than a pound a week. You'll maintain that strength. And the thing about, when we're talking about strength training, we're talking about 6 reps or less at a heavy weight. So we're doing the anaerobic system. So we're going to use the glucose and glycogen that we have already in our system.
Right.
When you're restricting calories, you're restricting carbohydrates, and that's the fuel we need to lift. So if you time your nutrients right, you time your pre-workout meal and the workouts, and you hydrated and rested the day before, you're going to be fine. Yeah, you might have to go a little bit deeper because you lost some fat, but typically your conditioning will be better, you'll feel better, your joints will be better. And as I said, if you do very slow and you time your nutrients right, you're going to be fine. I find it's the people that lose a lot of strength. One, it's mental. They feel as though, wow, I'm lighter, my gains are going to go down. So thoughts become things. So they kind of get in their head. And 2, they're not also understanding relative to absolute strength. So in the comments earlier, he said, what about Hathor compared to Anatoly?
Yeah,
well, we're comparing a huge different, different weights. So absolute would be saying, okay, this guy who weighs 400 pounds can pull 1,000 pounds, and this guy that's 200 pounds can pull 500. Well, I mean, we're talking about absolute, so we're just looking at the 1,000 pounds versus 500. When we talk about relative, we're looking at their mass versus the weight they pulled. So if we compare Hathor, his weight, to what somebody, half his size pulls, it's going to even out a little bit. Right. So you might feel as though you're lifting less, but you're also way less. So if you're, you have to take that in consideration. Right. It's not just, No,
I get it. It's just like, it's so in my situation, and I mean, I thought of it because I was like, oh, that's me, right? So in my situation,
Ava.
Okay. So I normally don't like tell people the amount, right? I just don't say it. But you know what? I've gone this long not telling people the amount, and I still haven't gotten it. So I'll just tell y'all. And when I get it, you just, whatever. So 405 is the number, right? And I'm about 20 pounds away from benching 405. When I started lifting, I remember my girlfriend at the time rescued me from under 135. Okay. So so shout out to you, Sharonda. Thank you. I'm alive to this day and I have kids because you saved me. But I'm just gonna say that I couldn't even imagine doing it at the time, because that was back when, this is 1993. So seeing somebody do 225 was impressive. Then in 315, you were a rock star. You walk in the gym and you could bench 315. I don't care what size you were. They're like, well, he just benched 315. And so the fact that I'm close to it kind of like elevates it in terms of importance, because I'm like, I want to get this. And then the plan was to get it and then kind of like lose weight and try to keep the that number, right? Or stay as close to it as possible, because I do plan to go back to competing in powerlifting. And I don't want to just like kind of participate, if you know what I'm saying. So,
yeah.
But that being said, I do also understand, and so leverages are important as well, because you're bringing the bar to the highest point of your body. So if you're shrinking, the highest point of your body just got lower. But I want to say that I think that mobility work might help with that, because I'm able to arch a little bit more within
Absolutely,
reason.
yeah. Thoracic mobility would come into play,
Yeah,
and if we're just speaking of of bench, I mean, how much fat typically do men hold on their chest? Not a
true.
lot, right? It's usually more in their bellies, which then would restrict
Yeah,
their depth
this
in a squat, but not so
right.
much on bench. So I mean, I would say it's more kind of like they're just grasping at a crutch rather than being like, I mean, how much fat are you going to lose on your chest? Unless you're a massive individual with a lot of
Right,
body
right.
fat to lose,
Yeah, I don't
it's
have moves.
very insignificant.
Yeah. So then let's see here. So Dustin said, correct, Ashley. It used to be believed that leanness means less energy than high body fat. But the higher body fat means you can lift more due to overall mass. And so you already said the thing about the relative versus absolute strength. So there's that. Let's see. That is a strategy. Carp said, masters, if you can't outlift them, just outlive them. There you go. That is okay. That is a strategy. All right. And Eric said, I hesitate to lose weight because I like to eat. Well, I mean, okay. Yeah. Carp said he's got that fringe purple bar too. The kids love it, and the pizza plates. Yeah. Yes, this is a good one. He said also to keep the muscle in a cut, I recommend to start or stay on creatine.
Yes.
I'm a huge fan of creatine. I believe it works. It's been studied for at least 100 years.
Everybody should take creatine.
You should just take it. It's got brain preserving functions. Yeah,
Yes.
just take it.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you like a little military story. So we were getting our like you had to take your urinalysis all the time.
Yeah.
So we're taking it, and you know how the NCOs always lie. They always tell you at least one lie to make sure that you're kind of like scared a little bit and paying attention or whatever. So they said, yeah, guys, make sure you're telling us, before you even do it, go ahead and tell us anything you're taking, because last cycle, as soon as they say last cycle, I know, okay, this is a lie. Here we go. And he said, yeah, last cycle, we had a guy who popped positive, and man, he was taking creatine. So yeah, make sure you're letting us know. I'm like, really? It was creatine? It was creatine, really? It was? Okay, sure.
Nobody tests for that.
You're like, why would you? It's in steak. Anyway.
It's already in your body. Your body already has creatine. It has creatine supplies.
Moving along. So now let's talk about
women?
some of the stuff that is in. Yeah. Oh yeah, the women. So like with the bulkiness. Yes, that's true. That's not missed that. There you go. That's why she's a professional. So what would you say about that?
Okay, so let's deep dive into that. There are different muscle fiber types in your body. Mm-hmm. If you don't want to bulk, then you don't want to do hypertrophy training. Hypertrophy training is training to increase your muscle size, not necessarily function. So we think of hypertrophy, we think of bodybuilders. They have big, full muscles. So when you train hypertrophy, which is typically anywhere from 8 reps all the way to 30 reps,
right,
you're going to grow your muscle size. You're not necessarily going to get stronger. Your strength will increase very marginally, but your muscle size will increase. So women, so this is the kind of one of the things that people kind of get stuck on and don't want to lift heavy. If you lift heavy, you lift, let's say 6 reps and below, and we're talking above 80-85% 1 rep max. Your muscle isn't going to get bigger. It will get more muscle fibers. For example, this is one of my great examples. If I were to put my hair in a ponytail, and this is my muscle fiber, and these are all the little fascicles inside the muscle fiber. If I take my hand and I fluff it up and get lots of volume, that would be hypertrophy training. I haven't added any muscle fibers, any fascicles, but I've increased the volume. That's hypertrophy training. If I were to get, like, let's say I had a wig or some hair extensions and I add those in, the size is the same, but I've added more muscle fibers. So if you don't want to get bulky, don't be afraid to lift heavy, because you'll get nice, dense, good-looking muscle, but it's not going to get bigger and bulky. The bulkiness comes from the hypertrophy training, which would be, as again, 8 to 30 reps at it's not, you don't have to lift very heavy. It's why it's where most people train. It's where you see a lot of Instagram and social media, it's about 67 to 75, 80% of your 1 rep max. So it's a comfortable place to live, but that's where the bulk comes from.
Right. So follow-up question for that is, as women get older and they need to preserve muscle mass, okay, I'm gonna be nice. People who are well-meaning tend to tell them to not lift heavy so they don't hurt themselves. But I say you need to lift as heavy as you safely can as you get older so you can preserve your muscle mass. And what do you say about that?
Absolutely. So women and men too, over the age of, I want to say about 55, 60, kind of, it's very person dependent, um, go through sarcopenia, which is is the age loss of muscle. So we have to preserve that. You have to weight train. And weight training not only helps you preserve muscle, which is going to help you function and live longer, but it's also going to help continue to keep bone density. The more we put weight on our bones, our body says, okay, we need to have these thick calcified bones. If you're not weight training, your body's going to start stripping your bones of minerals, and that's when you eventually get arthritis, you trip and fall, and you break a hip. So there are so many benefits to stay consistent 2 to 3 days of weight training for the rest of your life, and subjectively heavy, right? It has to be something you can safely do, right? You feel uncomfortable, but you're not going to hurt yourself. It's just, it has to be done. Men and women.
Yeah, I like how you said subjectively heavy, because heavy is different depending on who you are. And so I'll use Steve Goggins, my powerlifting coach, as an example. So I still remember when I first interviewed him, he was in his mid 50s at the time, I think. And he said, yeah, I know I'm never going to pull 400 kilos again. Right. He said, but I can still lift fairly heavy. And I was like, didn't you just, I said, you just pulled like 700 pounds. He said, yeah, like I said, I'll never do 400 kilos again. Right. So that's over 800 pounds. Right. So he's like, yeah, I'm only doing like 7 now. And now I don't even know if he lifts that heavy anymore. But the point is that he still continues to lift heavy enough for him. On the other hand, you take my dad, who's not into lifting at all. What's heavy for him is going to be very, very different. And then I'm in the middle. What's heavy for me is very, very different. I think I agree with you 100%. We all need to lift heavy enough to initiate a training response.
A training adaptation. And
yeah.
I also want to add on to that to say, also, if you're watching this, like, don't compare your weights for your squat, bench, and deadlift to other people and think that, like, wow, they're lifting 405, I'm only lifting 205, I'm just a little weak ass punk. Because you're built different, your levers, your mechanics, everything is different. Your nutrition is different, your sleep, your recovery. So it's really hard to compare yourself. So don't get in your head if it's subjectively different. If it's heavy for you, be proud of that.
Yeah. And I also say too, so I see Carp say only doing 700 pounds now. So the other thing about that is, Steve was a world champion. So Steve was the first guy to ever squat 1102 in history, right? So for him, dropping down that much, and like, that's actually videos of him lifting with Ronnie Coleman, for example. And he's pushing Ronnie, okay, because he's actually stronger than Ronnie, right? And so he had to come to terms with the fact that his identity wasn't tied up in what he could lift. And I think that's something that's really tough for competitive athletes. You get to the point where it's like, okay, because they'll say, oh, I'm a basketball player. Well, what happens when you can't play basketball anymore? Now who are you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think that is an important thing. To me, lifting is a tool to make you more of who you're supposed to be, not your entire identity. So I do think that. Okay.
Say that louder for the people in the back, because there are so many people who are wrapped up with their identity to their performance outcome. And that is absolutely, like, don't do that. Like, it's, as you said, it's a tool, it's a method. It's a great way to better yourself, to be disciplined, to elevate, to grow. But that's not everything. I tell people, like, there was, I'm a retired bodybuilder, but there were so many people that were just wrapped up in bodybuilding, and it like consumed them. And I was lucky enough to always have this motto that lived in my head, that there's more to life than bodybuilding. I'm enjoying it now, but I also have to think long term. That there's more to life than being the biggest, strongest, fastest. Like, do your best, but also don't be attached to that as your identity, and just enjoy the journey.
100%. This is a good one. I don't know if I post this comment, but movement efficiency is key. That's another thing too when it comes to being able to lift well. So that's where mobility comes in.
Yep.
So the more efficiently your body moves, the less it's fighting itself, the easier these lifts will be, and you'll actually be able to lift more. So I want to make sure I threw that on there. Sean said, what's the ideal protein goal for losing body fat? is it 0.8 to 1 kilogram, not kilogram, 1 gram per pound of current lean mass or of goal weight?
If you're trying to lose fat and you're actively weightlifting, I would bump that up. There are current studies right now that say you can go up to 2.2, 2.7 grams of protein per pound and have no adverse effects. It's not going to strain your kidneys. So
Right.
I would say I would bump that up to 1.5 for a little while and then go to 2. The great thing about protein is it's thermogenic. So it fires up your body's metabolism just a little bit. So if you're trying to increase your strength, so we're looping back to people being worried about losing fat and keeping strength. If you do moderate weight loss, 0.5 pound to a pound per week, you time your carbohydrates right pre-workout, and you increase your protein, you're not going to lose strength. So if you're trying to lose fat, definitely bump up. You go. So the 0.8 to 0.1 is typically just for general populations. If you're lifting and you already have muscle mass and you're trying to get fat loss, bump that up. It's not going to hurt. It will not hurt you unless you have pre-existing kidney issues.
Right. So I'm gonna give a shout out to our buddy Naomi and our friend Mel Evaneshian. I don't know if you know Mel, but she posted a video on YouTube. I'll link it in the description of this video for those of you guys on YouTube. For those of you guys who want to check it out, I'll just send it to you, Ashley, so you see it. But anyway, so the point is that her video was on the difference between weight cutting for competition and long-term fat loss. And for those of you guys who are watching who are not familiar with Mel, so she's the founder of Team Powerlifting. And like you, Ashley, she is a college professor. Y'all didn't know about Ashley's street cred. She is a college professor, okay?
And I am currently in...
You're going for your doctorate, right?
My doctorate on exercise and sports nutrition.
That's right. She's about to be Dr. Ashley. But anyway, so and she's a coach. So in any case, her video went into talking about weight cutting strategies. And we've already talked a little bit about this on the long-term fat loss side, but what we haven't touched on is how tough is it to break clients, especially you get somebody, let's say they wrestled in high school or something, right? Or they did anything where they had to cut weight. How tough is it to get them out of the fast water cut strategies and say, hey, look, just listen and be patient. All right. So how tough is that for you?
That's extremely tough because you're talking to someone that has embedded in their head, like, this worked for me then, it was quick, I saw results instantly, I'm tied to that, like that, that's the way to skin the cat. So it is hard to tell people, like, no, there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat. That worked for you, but it was instant gratification. And what do we know about instant gratification? It's instant. It comes and then it goes. What we want is that repetitive, slow burn, that distance, that maintain, like, you can maintain the gratification because you change the way you live. It is so hard because people are just tied to that simple, effective, fast, they want Amazon Prime 2 days later, they want their body fat 2 days later to drop. And it is, you have to speak not only to rewiring their brain and their thought processes, and you do this by, consistency, education, positive reinforcement. And also, you have to, so it's a physical and mental, because you also have to physically challenge them and push them. So it's like the whole thing, but it is tough. And for some people, they don't let it go. I've worked with clients who I can give them all the answers to the test, but they want the cheat sheet. Like, they don't want to actually work for it. And it breaks my heart, but you have to let people, make their own choices and learn the hard way. But they're the ones that are really like, hey, I'm ready for change. I want to do this the right way. How do I do it? It's amazing.
Spencer, Home Gym Hub, he says, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Spencer. And
Spencer!
he said, as far as lifting, he says, like video games, if they can lift more than me, obviously they have no life, and they're on gear. So as long as they lift more than him, they're on gear. I'm like, oh, that's a tough crowd. All right. Let's see here. Question from Jared. He said, Ashley, what are your thoughts on introducing kids to weight training? Do you have any guidelines?
Absolutely. And I've talked to Eric Eccles about this too. Kids can weight train. Absolutely. Yeah. Couple considerations. One, especially when the children go through puberty, their body and leverages are going to change. So if you're working with a child that's, pre-adolescent, work on the foundations, teach them, I would say, before you even put like barbell or dumbbells in them. Make sure they understand how to squat right, push up right. Teach them the body weight and movements to be effective, and then start adding that weight, start adding dumbbells. But be aware that when they go through puberty, things are going to grow and their movements are going to change. So you might have to reinforce, like, hey, let's go back and reassess your squat
Regress
pattern.
a little
Your
bit.
you know, reassess. But yeah, absolutely, kids weight training, as long as it's supervised and they understand good movement patterns, because the last thing you want to do is kids who are, you know, still growing and expanding and figuring out their own body and space, is put them under heavy loads, because then they will mess things up. But if you know what you're doing and you know how to coach them and teach effective movement patterns and teach them how to you know, just do safe, effective exercises, you're going to build them up. Like, you are setting the standard for them to succeed in fitness for the rest of their lives.
So I say, I agree with what you said. Some of the things I think that scare people, first of all, there's a fear culture. All right.
Yeah.
So you don't do this, but there are coaches who want to get clients. So what they do is they put out the fear, they do a lot of fear mongering. Oh, look at this bad movement. And then they tell you stuff, you know, neutral spine or all this, you know, all this stuff to just scare you, right? But let's just regress, let's just walk backwards, right? Lifting weights is just picking up a thing. It's picking up a thing, it's shaped a certain way, and you're going to do it probably repeatedly. All right. So if your child, if you wouldn't hesitate to tell your child to go get a chair for grandma, that's actually a loaded carry, is it not?
Yeah.
You just don't think about it because, oh, well, they're picking up a chair and carrying it.
Yeah.
If you wouldn't hesitate to tell your kid, hey, go outside and play, and they climb a tree and they do all this stuff, that's all exercise.
Yeah.
If they're jumping, that's actually, in some cases, gonna do a little bit more to their body than just doing a simple set of body weight squats with good movement patterns is going to do. So I always say, look, the problem is that gym class nowadays has ruined us because we associate exercise with a bad thing. We're like, well, I don't want to force my kids to do this. I'm like, you make your kids brush your teeth because you know it's good for them, right?
Yep.
So show them that exercise is fun and enjoyable and gives them results before the school can ruin them.
Yeah,
Before
absolutely.
the school can ruin it for them, right?
Yeah.
And that's something that we did with all of our kids. And to this day, I'm so glad that we did that thing with them. So
I mean, that's how I got started in this. I grew up watching my dad
true.
weight train in his basement gym. And, you know, he set the standard, he taught me things, and here I am.
So Carp said, talking about the protein thing, he said, and I saw your correction. I think that's hilarious, Carp. He said, in order to dial it in, you need to find out your lean mass. Said, go get a DEXA scan or something so you actually know where the number is. So that's something else I think that's intimidating for people. And you were at one point doing studies at the different university where you'd let people come in. What would be the easiest way for just a regular person to go get a DEXA scan?
So the DEXA scans are hard to do. It's the gold standard in the industry. You have to look for a specific place that has DEXA scans, and they're usually in like major cities, and they are not cheap. Because you're using dual X-ray technology to completely scan your body. If you do have access to one, usually they're around $100, $130. And you can get one twice a year, and it's going to tell you your bone density, your muscle mass. It's going to give you like an X-ray, and you can see like, hey, my right arm versus my left arm, and it's great information. If that is not something that you have the budget, or it's not in your area, the next thing would be something called a bod pod, which does air displacement to measure your mass, your body fat. If that isn't, and those are typically seen at universities, a lot of universities have these instruments. And so if you look for your local university, a lot of them also, they're open to the public. You can schedule appointments and either pay for it or volunteer for studies.
I'm about to say, just say, hey, yeah, experiment on me. That's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah. And then one of the most common ones is those handheld body impedance devices. So, you know, you hold it out. Those are a decent method to kind of see trends. They're not very accurate, but you could use those and look for different trends over time and understand like, hey, this might not be accurate, but if my body fat is 20% today, and then next month it's 21, and then 23, over 6 months, you can kind of take the average and see, you know, like trends. And if you're higher or lower, I wouldn't ever take those as, I wouldn't go around and be like, hey, my handheld device said I was 5% body fat. because those can have 10% error. So you could really be 15. But if you have the ability and the time to get a DEXA scan once or twice a year, it is it's so cool. I have a whole notebook upstairs over the years that I've done DEXA and bod pods, and so I can just kind of track, I print it out and keep it in this book so I can look at, you know, how my body's changed over the years.
So I like the university thing because people forget. So like you, in some cases, you have students who are doing it. Well, they have to practice on somebody. They usually practice on each other. But if you go and you say, hey, yeah, I'll volunteer for a study, or even I'll pay for it, it'll be a little bit cheaper because you're letting the student and the professor's there. So it's not going to be like, you know, you still get good results, but you're letting them practice something that they need to know how to do later when they graduate. So that's actually a really, really good resource. I'll tell you a quick story about the impedance thing. Is like, you know, they have the scales that you can step on, right? And I knew a guy who said he wasn't getting good results from it. Turned out he had the calluses on his feet were too thick. And so it was because it's bioimpedance. So the calluses were interfering with it. So that's just the thing. And I know that's what now I ruined your day because you're thinking about some dude with thick foot calluses. You're welcome.
I mean, yeah, like you said, with calluses interfere with that. If you're dehydrated or overly hydrated, it interferes. If you've had food already or caffeine, all those for those handheld electrode devices will all skew the results. So those are very finicky, very unreliable.
What's up, Matt? I know Matt doesn't have a lot of time. He's on his lunch hour here in the UK. He says, good morning, USA. Matt's, I believe, going for another world record in natural strongman. He said, FYI, we only allow skinning cats if you're really struggling to get your protein in. There we go. That's that British humor. Trying to make sure. Okay. Spencer said that I already miss hearing all about Ashley's new home gym. We can talk about it a little bit. That's what you want to talk about. I will say this, and this kind of reflects something that I think it goes back to, like, the people, I said something about people making online comments in the questions I sent you. I think it's funny because you're not a know-it-all. And I can vouch for you, like when Ashley doesn't know something, you have the confidence to just say, I don't know it. And you just ask, like, hey, does anybody, and that happened with your gym. You're like, hey, does anybody know the best way to get, I feel like it was like moving stuff to your, from Virginia to Ohio. So go ahead and tell us about the gym. And I believe you've got a tour somewhere. Maybe it's on your YouTube channel, and I'll link to it in the description of this video. So anybody who wants to see it can see it.
I have to do an updated one. So yeah, I moved to Ohio. I expanded my home gym. It's a little over 1,400 square feet. I have two sides. So the side I'm sitting in now, I consider like the straight side. So this is where I have my dumbbells, all my leg machines, leg press, squat max, Force USA C20. I have a deadlift platform here. Here we go. So I have all kinds of stuff. So there we have the deadlift platform. I have a seated row shrug machine. Over there is like my Synergy rack. I have the Force USA attachment. I moved my treadmill in here because it was too cold on the other side. This side's insulated. Squat max, a bench. I have the ATX squat. So this is my leg pieces, Force USA. It's dark because I have the light turned off. Some attachments. And then if we go on this side, this other side, I consider the performance side. It's not yet insulated, but I'm working on it. So I got the Peloton, the step mill. I have Arc Trainer. I have another squat rack. I have the rope flex here. And then, I have my jerk blocks over there. I have the rower, ATX GHD. I have the Concept 2 skier, assault bike. So this is considered more the performance side. So that is my upgraded home gym. I'm still working on it. Renovations are probably going to take, another year or two because there's so much stuff that I want to do with it. But I'm settled in pretty well.
That's part of the fun of it, though. It's like you get to set up the gym candy, and you got the most important thing, a Garage from Life banner. So that's all that matters.
Yeah, I do.
So Sean says the joy of midlife fitness is when you aren't stuck identifying with a fitness monoculture, and you can just juggle several fitness passions that will serve you for the long term. 100%. And Dustin says, reminds of this, that 9-year-old girl who deadlifted 180 at the Arnold this year. I think she's a wrestler too, because I saw a video like where she's just completely demolishing this poor dude. Man, I was just like, dude, you should have checked Instagram before you agreed to wrestle her. But you know, it is what it is. It builds character when you get destroyed like that. And Matt said a lot of strongmen are teaching the kids weight training. So like Nick Best, Eddie Hall's also training his son Max. Terry Pritchard's son Bubba's competing, and he's a monster for someone so young. Yeah, I think it's something that I think is perfectly okay. Kinsey said, "Good morning, Ashley.
Kinsey!
I couldn't miss this. What's up, Kinsey? I told you, you're the draw." All right. And yes, Matt is going to be trying to get a world record. He's waiting for the dates to be confirmed, hoping for an attempt to either May or June. Oh, wow, that's coming up, to increase the deadlift world record, and then he might attempt a second world record at the end of the year. Hey, now we know how he's spending his year, just smashing his world record by setting the bar just a little bit higher. Jared wants to know if you have anything on the wish list for your gym. Does it have a name? And does the C20 have spotter arms?
Yes. Oh, Jared. The C20 does have spotter arms. Absolutely. I have them. I love the C20. I'm so happy with it. That's just man, what a treat to have that. I don't really have anything on the wish list. I feel like right now I'm in a good place, but if you guys know anything about me and Home Gym Con, I go there and I leave with things.
Comes back with a truck full of stuff. Yeah.
So I'm in a happy place. I feel like, man, everything, I can't think of anything that I am missing or wanting, but man, I'm grateful for what I do have. I'm so blessed to have this set up and be a part of this community. And speaking of Home Gym Con, if you guys are out on the fence about it, you have to go. It is the best experience I have ever had traveling somewhere for a convention or conference. I mean, if you're like slightly just thinking about it, I'm telling you right now, just do it. Just 100%. Do it. Just go. It is life-changing.
So I want to close with this because I mentioned a month or so ago that I really want to see YouTube content for the home gym community, include more information on how to use the equipment. And this is perfect because you just said you don't really have stuff on your wish list. You might get stuff, but you have what you need. And that's kind of like how I felt when I first started Garage Gym Life. I actually got dragged kicking and screaming into doing reviews because I didn't care. And most of the people, I was still competing in powerlifting at the time, and most of the people I hung around with who lifted were powerlifters, and they didn't care about the latest bells and whistles because they were buying stuff based upon whether it was the same equipment used in their federation, right? So obviously the world is very different now, but I think that there's a huge hole in the content ecosystem. We don't see, for example, creators review a product and then spend time giving you tips for how to use that product over the next 3 to 6 months, for example. Instead, because of just how things work, you do the review, you get rid of it, go on to the next review, and that's all of us, right? And I'm glad Kinsey's listening because you obviously do your channel the way you want to, but I just think that you two specifically have the greatest potential to change that because of your training and your educational backgrounds. So I know that you've done a little bit of training content on YouTube, which, where you're showing how to do things. What are the challenges with making that kind of content for you versus just doing reviews?
I would say my biggest challenges is having someone here to help with camera angles. That would be great for that would be that and editing. Those are my biggest challenges because that is so time consuming for me, just filming it and then editing, because that's just stuff that's not in my wheelhouse. The actual just going through how to train is that is the easiest thing for me, because how to train is my life's purpose. When it comes to doing reviews,
well, I'm sorry to cut you off, but would you consider, because you just said editing, would you consider just doing that kind of stuff live as a live video? Then you don't have to edit anything.
But then you still post it?
Yeah, you just do a live stream of yourself training, but then you have to. So what you would have to do is have and I said this to Kevin also. You have your laptop set up so that when people ask you questions, I mean, it's going to ruin your training session. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But you're going to have your laptop right there, and then as people ask questions, you can answer the questions because you'll see them. So between sets, if you're resting, just walk over. Oh, you want to know this or whatever. I just think I get bored with just seeing just product reviews, And I know that other people have said the same thing, to the point where they get burnt out and they stop watching because they're like, I don't want to buy anything else. So I'm just gonna not watch YouTube anymore.
I think that's a great suggestion. I'm actually going to put that on my whiteboard. I'm going to start doing that. I will say when I do review equipment, I make sure I not only review it, but I also am like, okay, I'm going to actually train with it, because I don't like watching reviews where people don't actually use it. And there's a lot of reviewers who'll be like, hey, I'm reviewing this equipment, but I'm like, okay, that's great. I can read about the equipment online. I want to see how you like it, how it works. Does it do what it's supposed to do? Does it do it well? So, that's you and I have talked about that in the past.
Yes.
We have.
I get so frustrated. I'm like, come on, man. At least try. So
I'm gonna, John, thank you. That's a phenomenal suggestion. And I know Kinsey, I also agree with you. She's one of the other ones in this space that really understands training and explaining it. So I think her and I are definitely, we're gonna have to add that to our whiteboards and start.
Especially when she visits you next.
Yeah, filling that space. I know. Yeah, what a gem. Like, I'm so grateful I got to meet her and see her home gym.
Yeah, she said she's on her way. So there you go. And she said same thing. She said making content editing is so time consuming. I showed a couple of tips on my last YouTube review. I have to be better too with showcasing it. I just think that it's a hole in the market, and we can talk more like offline, but I just think it'd be a cool thing to add to the space. But in order for people to actually see this stuff, they have to know where to go. So Ashley, I'm going to give you the solo shot here, and I'll throw up your the stuff for people to check you out. So how can people keep up with everything that you got going on?
So keep up with me. I am Ashley the Amazing 332 and 332. So Ashley 3 underscores the 3 underscores the amazing 2 underscores. So it's 332. Those are the number of underscores. Ashley the Amazing. That's on Instagram, and I'm also Ashley the Amazing on YouTube.
Nice. Okay, so we got it right there. I do have the links for all of that in the description for this video, so you guys can go and check her out and subscribe. Don't just go watch. I know sometimes you guys watch stuff you like on TV, watch it on TV, and it's very easy to kind of like get distracted and forget. As soon as you get there, click subscribe, and then click thumbs up and hype the video. Hit the hype, because as soon as it pops, as soon as you hit like, it'll give you the option to hype her video. I promise you will learn a lot, just like I learned a lot today by having you on here. And every time you're on here, you're so awesome and such a motivating person. Keep doing what you're doing, and don't even slow it down. All right.
Same goes for you, John. Thank you for all you're doing in this space and for the community. Man, just to see how far you've grown since 2023, it's incredible. Like, I am so proud of you and Naomi, and like keep doing what you guys are doing. It's amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate you. All right. Have a good morning.
Bye, guys.
See ya. All right. So that was Ashley the Amazing. If you're an OG, make sure you call her 332. And let's see here. We are at it is now 8:01. So good morning to those of you in the Mountain Time Zone who are just joining us. Make sure that you don't just watch. I need you to also hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. Make sure you subscribe to my guests. The links to subscribe to them is in the description for this video. So go there and click so that you can subscribe and support them. Let them know that it was worth their time. Also, I do have a guest coming up for Mailbag Mondays. I'm going to have a guest host. That's my guy, Kevin from Home Gym Gains. So make sure you guys subscribe to @Home Gym Gains on YouTube. And let's see here. And so that way you guys can support him and help him to grow his channel. And then once again, I know it's about 6 a.m. in the Mountain Time Zone. So some of you guys are getting ready to hit the gym, or you might be trying to get your day started. So regardless what you got going on, I appreciate you being here, spending the final hour of the show with us. Final thing, make sure you follow the LinkedIn show page. Okay, so you can catch our on-location interviews with business thought leaders, as well as future episodes of this show. Now, my final guest of the day is PJ. PJ is the founder of Design, Build, Lift. As the name indicates, PJ got his start by doing DIY equipment builds, but he's since begun reviewing products from some established home gym equipment brands. And PJ is going to be joining me today to talk about the challenges of doing DIY content and how he's continued to make quality content in general on the Design, Build, Lift YouTube channel. So, PJ, you ready to go? Ready? All right, he's ready to go. So everybody go ahead, give a warm welcome to PJ. What's up, man?
Morning. I'm bowing. There you go.
There you go. Thanks for getting up way too early with Garage in Life, man.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
Dude, this is so we already have a hey, Jared says he's got to get out of here. He says got to run, have a great weekend. Hey man, I appreciate you being here, Jared. Just catch I know you'll catch the rest of the replay. So appreciate you being here. But Kinsey said PJ is part of my story. He's part of the reason I started my home gym. So how cool is that to see comments like that? And Trevor says PJ is the man. Sean just yells your name real loud, PJ. Hey, I told you.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
There's 8,000 people who are here to watch you talk. So
wow,
no pressure. I'm just kidding.
8,000. Oh, now I'm nervous.
I'm sorry, I lied. 9,000.
All right.
Yeah. So let's go with this, because this is something that I really I think is I know you didn't tell me the answer. I sent you the questions ahead of time. You didn't tell me the answer to this because I like to get I like to react to people's response to this question in real time with people watching, right? Because I've gone through it, so I'm assuming you go through it too. Your channel name is one of the most self-explanatory in the home gym community. Do you still find yourself having to explain to people what your channel is about?
Yes.
I know you do. It's design, build, lift. So
and they're like, what?
Stuff?
Yeah, exactly. They don't get it. Interesting little story. That wasn't going to be my channel name. When I started the channel, I thought it'd be really cool to make DIY projects and then get people to, this is cringy, to join my club. And I was going to call it the DIY Fitness Club.
Oh, wow.
And it's still on old logos, old t-shirts across the top. And then I found out that name wasn't available on Instagram. Someone else already had it. So I made the motto Design, Build, Lift.
Okay.
And then I ended up using that as the Instagram handle. And now I just go by that. And I've tried to eradicate any kind of artifacts of DIY Fitness Club from any kind of anything I do, because it's just kind of cringy.
I love that you said join my club. like I'm picturing a clubhouse.
Yeah.
Like, obviously it's in a tree.
Obviously.
Yeah. I mean, where else would you put it? That's the only reasonable place. So I will say to everybody, please do go and follow at Design Build Lift on Instagram. You're going to see some cool stuff on there. You've got a Facebook page and also, the YouTube channel, which is where I mostly encounter your stuff. So that channel, by the way, seems to have shifted away from the DIY part of things. Mm-hmm. You're doing more product reviews, the stuff that's already on the market. What was your motivation behind shifting away from, the building stuff? So
when I started, I just exclusively did DIY content. DIY content sometimes can take months to make one video. You have to design something in your mind, then maybe even make it before you even film anything, then write a script, and then remake it on video, and then film it all, getting all these different angles, which slows down the building process too.
Right.
And then edit it all. It just was so time consuming. And your time's worth money. I didn't make any money doing it. There's no, affiliate links to, buying lumber, and no one would use them if there was.
Right.
So it was just like, when someone gave me the opportunity to review my first piece of equipment, I think it was an elliptical. I said, cool, and I enjoyed the process. It was a much different process. I didn't have to worry about making the thing. I just had to use and evaluate the thing. Right. So I could crank out more videos, and just kind of focus on the art of video making and not the art of designing and building the stuff.
Right.
So it just made things. It was a different skill set, and I enjoyed it. So, and then that was all during COVID too. That DIY was huge when you couldn't get anything because everything was.
Everybody's making stuff out of sand and concrete.
Right.
And, yeah.
Right. And frankly, viewership just kind of declined as markets kind of opened up, and now instead of spending hours making something out of wood, you can get something made overseas for some cases cheaper than you can make it out of wood. So the topic just kind of declined in popularity. That's another kind of contributing factor to transitioning to reviews.
So my brother says, I feel you, man. I'm not on your level, but I feel you. So yeah, because his first gym he built out of old stuff that he got from, he works as a power line worker, and he used old like cross arms and things like that to build stuff. And now he's got a gym that, so he's got an iron bull strength rack, a rogue rack, and some stuff like that. But yeah. So your answer kind of gives me like a few responses. The first one is when you were doing the DIY stuff, it occurs to me that you could have done, and I know this is really helpful now, but like maybe reviews of the equipment you use to do your builds. So did you ever consider doing stuff like that, or even like, one of those, the top 5 most essential pieces of equipment I use to build whatever?
Not really. I've watched like reviews of drills before, and there is more. Like experts on drills know a million times more than me.
Right.
I just didn't think I was qualified to actually. I'm not in the trades. I don't build houses for a living or anything like that. I could kind of tell you what I like in a miter saw, but I don't think I'm qualified necessarily to say,
sure,
you shouldn't buy this miter saw or this miter, or you should buy this miter saw because of whatever reason. I just don't think I'm qualified.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. And then another thing is, so you said DIY Fitness Club, you're trying to get rid of it, and I see the banner over your left shoulder.
Yeah, it's an artifact, I guess.
Like
it's usually off camera. Yeah. So I usually film facing a different way. This is kind of the back side where there's just stacks of stuff. And I'm sitting like this is I work from home most days. So I'm sitting at the desk I actually work at, and it's just kind of off camera in the corner.
Okay, I got you. I just thought it was funny because you said, it just kind of sneaks in there, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's one.
Yeah, it's right there.
That's hilarious.
Cover that up.
So Kinsey said, my DIY videos on Instagram have been getting the most views lately. I think people still like to see that stuff, but to PJ's point, you're spending your own money and the content takes forever to edit. So I have an answer for that. See, Kinsey, you didn't think I had an answer for that. I got an answer. So we actually found out about this like maybe 2 weeks ago, but Home Depot has an affiliate program. I know because we were invited to it, and this wasn't how I planned on announcing it, but I'm announcing it now. So we're part of the Home Depot affiliate program, and so you can get discounts on stuff, and then of course, if people buy the thing, then you get any other affiliate link, you'll get like some money for it. So I would say that would be one of the ways to kind of ease the pain a little bit. I don't know if like what it would take for them to give you stuff for free. If that makes sense.
So I applied to the Home Depot affiliate program, and I got rejected.
Oh no!
Yeah, right when I started, have I tried to reapply?
Yeah, because I think you can do it.
But I reapplied like several times, and I'm like, okay, well, enough with you. Okay, so anyway, so if I apply today, could I get approved? Maybe.
Or maybe Lowe's or whatever. Yeah, I got you.
But I also don't think, personally, I would never. If I'm going to go to the lumber, if I need lumber, I'm not buying it online. Number one,
sure.
I don't want someone picking the boards for me and then picking it up. Like, I want a bunch of crooked, Home Depot boards. I don't think so. I want to pick the boards myself. And then if I'm there, you know, I'm going to get the fasteners and whatever else I need, the glue, because I got to go there anyway. So I personally would never really use the Home Depot link for certain projects, but, you know, never say never. If you want to drill, maybe it's, you know, maybe that's something I would buy online, a drill maybe.
Yeah, a dehumidifier life, man. I'm telling you.
Oh, there you go.
So let's see here. She said I'm Home Depot's biggest fan and customer. All right, shout out to Home Depot.
I used to work for Home Depot.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, right after I got out of the Army, I was recruited. They billed it as some kind of executive training program. It turned out to not really be that. So after 1 year, I
got a buddy.
I left.
I got a buddy who works at Lowe's, and he said, like, so he was trying, like, he went through a thing where he lost like 190 pounds, and he said just working at Lowe's helped him lose the weight quicker than when he was trying to lose weight, because he said you spend your entire day just walking back and forth, you're on your feet all day drinking, you're constantly drinking water because you're thirsty. And he said, I was like, oh, so basically fat loss tip, just go work at Lowe's or Home Depot.
Exactly.
Yeah, takes care of it just like that. So I don't want to get sidetracked on this topic, but I want to address it and then move on.
Okay.
So I know that the situation with Kyle caused a massive ripple in the home gym community. What I don't know, but I suspect, is that his absence affected the DIY equipment online community, but I'm not really as plugged into that as I assume you are. So how has his absence affected that community, if at all?
You know, I couldn't really tell you. I haven't done a DIY video in about a year. The last one I did, and I invested tons of time into this video. I made a flywheel, a rack-mounted flywheel, and I thought this video was going to set the world on fire. I thought this was going to blow up, and
this is going to kill him.
Nobody cared. Yeah. So that was kind of like, because at that point I was trying to blend reviews and DIY, you know, doing it kind of alternating.
Right.
And it was like, I spent so much time. I mean, I spent probably 6 weeks just figuring out how to build it before I even started filming it, and filming it took forever too. So anyway, the juice wasn't worth the squeeze. And ever since then, you know, I haven't really been plugged in to any kind of like DIY Facebook group or DIY Reddit or any of that stuff. So I couldn't really tell you.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, fair enough. A good, strong I don't know is better than kind of, you know. So let's talk about just home gyms in general. So there's a difference between owning the home gym to achieve your personal goals and owning a home gym as a content creator. Because first of all, the stuff you have in there changes. People send you stuff. Sometimes it's stuff that you weren't like looking for. They just send you an email. Hey, can we send this to you? So now it kind of changes your training plan, and it definitely changes your footprint, because now you got to figure out where to put this thing, right?
Right.
So how has being a content creator altered your choices as far as setting up a home gym?
Well, sometimes you get something like a GHD. I have a GHD over there. Right. At the time I got it, my the app I was using, I don't remember what it was, something on the App Store, didn't have any kind of GHD. It wasn't telling me to do any GHD exercises, right? So I would have to kind of work within the confines of the plan that the app was telling me what to do, but somehow still integrate this new thing because I needed to use it so I could review it.
Right.
So there's that. You gotta kind of have to deviate from your training to integrate the things that the companies are sending you, so that you use it enough to have an informed opinion to make a video.
Right.
But also it affects the layout of my gym, because I like to have a clean video composition and not have too much stuff in the shot. Right. So that whatever I'm talking about, you can focus the eye on that thing and not 500 other things. So on this side, you know, this sign right here, everything on this side is kind of, you know, I still use this leg press, but a lot of stuff here, it's just like the parking lot of stuff I just need to get out of the way to keep the other side of the gym clear when I'm filming. And then when I'm done filming, you know, I can move stuff back, but I kind of have to pull everything. It's kind of, I have to like spend an hour just setting up before I can even film, just to, you know, get a clean video composition. That's annoying. But to answer your question, I like to have that side of the gym pretty much just clean and pristine, so I can't have too much stuff in my gym.
Right, because that way you can move stuff over there to get it out of the way.
Exactly. I have to keep the side, you know, empty to bring it over, and that's why I also have the garage. I have one stall in the garage where I have 2 racks, because I can't fit. I have low ceilings on this side and not the other side. Okay. So I can fit 2 racks over there. I got 2 racks over there. I can't fit any more racks down here. So the garage is kind of the overflow. So, and I still have 2 racks there. So I can't fit any more racks right now until I get rid of one. So
if somebody offers you a rack, like, hey, we want to send you this rack to review, and you're like, I can't do this.
I can't. And, to be honest, I don't want to right now. I've kind of burnt out on doing racks for a while. I've been offered racks, and I've turned them down. And
they sound so excited when they email you too.
Oh, I know.
You're like, I'm sorry.
Well, some of the racks were better than racks I have, but it just wasn't worth the headache to me of, okay, now I got to disassemble one rack and then try to get rid of it somehow quickly. And then bring in another rack, and assemble it. I just didn't want the headache.
There's still problems though.
I don't do weekly videos, so I tried to increase my output a while ago, and I just wasn't for me. I don't want it to be a full-time second job.
Right.
I wanted to. I do about 1.5 videos a month.
Okay.
If I do that, I still enjoy it. If I do more than that, I don't really enjoy it. Because I got a day job, I got wife, I got kids, I got all those things, and they're the priority. So this is what I do in my free time.
So Kinsey said her basement is a temporary machine graveyard. I understand. So my wife works from home, and her office. So what we did is we divided the garage up. One half is her office plus storage for just random stuff. We have a section where we keep all the stuff for something that and this is also my solution for some of the things that I just have. So every year at Home Gym Con, we said, you know what, we're gonna start having a thing called the Scratch and Dent giveaway, right? So it's stuff that I have that I couldn't sell because maybe it's like a specialty item that people wouldn't understand, and I don't feel like dealing with Facebook Marketplace about it or whatever. So we go to Home Gym Con, people show up to the in-person show, and it's like a raffle. Pull this number out. We read the number off. All right, and this is now yours. And the rules are, it's just like, remember when, because you were in the Army, remember you go to the field and you'd have like the MREs, and you may not want what you had in yours, so you trade back and forth.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
We got the pound cake.
Yeah, exactly.
We got the pound cake.
Universally, right? So I said we instituted MRE rules, right? I said you guys can trade with each other, but you can't give it back to me. I'm not taking any of this stuff back home. So we've got a section in that one side of the garage for just that stuff. Then we got stuff that we just reviewed that maybe we're waiting that we've sold and we're waiting for somebody to come pick it up. Then we've got Naomi's bike, our daughter's bike, because she's a triathlete, so she has to have her bike somewhere. Then we got her office. So when people send stuff to me, say, hey, I want to send you this, I'm like, whoa, what is it? And how much space is it going to take up? Because I'm fresh out of storage space. I'm fresh out of storage space. So it's very, very, I've got some workarounds, but I'm kind of like you about, like, I'm very, very picky now about what I'll do a review on. Let's talk about your leg press. I don't know if do you still have the Rit Fit one?
I have the Gazelle one. I don't have the BLP01 anymore.
Okay. So the reason why I brought that up is because I liked how you did the review of it. And although you didn't have your daughter on camera.
I hate that review, by the way, but go ahead.
You hate it. Well, what I liked about it is that a lot of times you have people who, and people will post in the comments like, well, will this fit me? Or and then they'll tell me how tall they are or whatever, right? If it's a leg press, they're asking my wife because I don't do those. But what I liked is that you had your daughter, who was like 4'1" at the time. You had her use it, and then you didn't bring her on camera, but you just said, okay, for the sake of who it's going to fit, this is how tall I am. You can see how it works for me. My daughter, who's 4'1", used it. This was her, and it looked like it was working for her.
4'1".
Yeah, you
that short.
You said at the hold on, don't make me pull.
It was a few years ago, though.
Yeah, you said my daughter, who is 4'1",
4'11", I think maybe
4'11".
Okay.
Well, anyway, so she's under 5 feet, and you said that she could. You said that she could use it, and you were like, so that kind of will give you guys an idea of who it fits. You know, this is the range. This is my height. This is her height, and that was the thing that stood out to me because I'm like, you know what, until my wife Naomi started doing reviews, everything was based off of how it fit for me. Right. And I think most reviewers will do that. They'll just, oh, well, I like it or I don't like it based upon how it fits me, as opposed to, hey, let me see if I can get somebody else to try it because your proportions might not be the same as me. What are some other ways that your family helps you out with, as a content creator?
I mean, being quiet. That's number one.
Okay.
Because I mean, the living room's right above this gym, and when they're filming, I gotta get the dog outside. He's chewing on a bone, and I can hear it through the ceiling. He's picking up on video. The kids are running around. So I usually just film on Saturdays, and they go to the mall or something. My wife takes them to the mall, so that's the biggest help. My wife's been a very big supporter. She helps out in that way. But also they've held the camera a few times, certainly. And my wife did use the Expedience Gym Monster 2, and gave her thoughts to me on that. But yeah, they don't really use the gym.
Right.
I hope that especially my kids use it. Right. My daughter's 14. Hopefully she starts using it soon. And my son, hope my dream is that we'll be lifting weights down here.
Bro session.
When he's gonna be 12. No, he is 12. So soon we'll get that going. And I lied, and he's 11, and that's the kind of father I am.
That's okay.
He's 11.
Okay. That's okay. So here's what we're gonna do, right? So we're gonna pull this up right here, and I'm gonna turn the sound on.
Oh, I hate this.
So here we go. Video. Here we go. So let's gonna back up just a little bit.
This is old.
All right. So let's see. Make sure you can. Hopefully you can hear. But I got the closed captions on.
3. So my 4'10" daughter.
4'10".
Full range of motion with this all the way down and this all the way up.
All right. So there you go. And there. So what happened is, I looked at it. And I actually was looking at it again last night while listening to Carlos' live stream. So I had the sound off, and all I saw was the 4'1". And I was like, "Oh, okay." So that's how we got to 4'1". But she was 4'10".
Yeah, at the time, yeah. That was one of the.
Now she's taller. Yeah,
that was one of the first reviews I did. Is maybe my second review, I think. And I don't like that review at all.
I should make you watch it again, just because I feel pain when I watch my old one. So don't.
Well, I don't think I was critical enough at that. I was still trying to find my sea legs with reviews. So to your point, I had my daughter was 4'10", get on it. She doesn't know how to leg press, but I wanted to see if someone her size, it would still get a full range of motion. So she sat on it, and I was holding the leg press plate up. She's like, "It's crushing me," like, "Get it off of me." And I'm like, "Well, are you getting a full range of motion?" She's like, "Yeah, just get it off of me." And I'm like, "Okay, I think that's good. Hopefully I didn't blow people's speakers out with that little voice I did. I think that someone 4'10", it should be good the way she was describing it, but she was kind of, whatever. Anyway, the big complaint about that specific product was it didn't have a good range of motion.
Okay.
I think it was on the leg press specifically. It had a good range of motion on the hack squat for most heights, but it didn't have the best range of motion on the leg press if you were short.
Right.
Okay. And I don't think I did enough to investigate that. Right.
But here's the thing, though. You say that, but RitFit made changes, including changing the range of motion. True. So shout out to RitFit for listening.
That's true. So today it might
be the Gazelle's
be
a better product. Is what I'm saying. The Gazelle's a better product. And so I would say that people like you, because we didn't have the BLP 01. Instead, we ended up with just the Gazelle that Naomi tried when we were at the RitFit showroom. And they were telling us, like, yeah, this is an updated version of our previous leg presses because we got feedback from people like you.
Yeah, and I got something to say about that. Then change the model number
of the Gazelle or the
either. So if there's a bunch of reviews out there that say the range of motion sucks on the BLP 01, why wouldn't you want to change the model number if you're going to update that? And it now is not true anymore because basically you have bad press out there floating around on YouTube.
Yeah,
and no one's going to buy this thing because you didn't update the model number, or you kind of newer reviews of it will be like, I don't know what that guy was talking about. The range of motion is fine. That makes sense. So either way, it's kind of like that stinks.
That's actually pretty good feedback.
The Gazelle, same thing. I gave a review of that. I like the Gazelle, but in the review, I point out that it's basically the exact problem of the review I did on the original BLP 01, where the leg press has great range of motion. The hack squat didn't. At 5'11", I had to put horse stall mats on the foot plate to get a full range of motion. But they updated it since I did this review. And I guess that range of motion, if you were at Home Gym Con last year, you were testing the updated version.
Oh, okay.
So my reviews doesn't match what's currently available.
Now people are like, what is this guy talking about? The range of motions is fine. I got you.
Well, it hurts them, and it kind of makes the reviewers of the old model it looks like they don't know what they're talking about. 100%. So if you're going to update it, slap a version number on there at least. Call it the 2.0. I don't know if they don't. I don't know why they don't do that. They probably have a good reason.
That's actually a good question. I
don't know what it is.
That's probably a good question from Matt. Matt Balianu. Matt tends to watch this. He watches this show. So, Matt, you just heard that.
I met him at.
He's a good dude.
He's a good dude. Yeah,
I'm a fan. So yeah, Matt. So now you got some more feedback right there. Carlos said, "Don't feel bad." He said, "Old videos remind you of how far you've come. You're better for it."
I do think that the videos I've done lately, because I don't operate on any kind of set schedule, they are better. Because I take as long as I take.
Gotcha.
And I don't make any apologies for it. It's if someone's mad that I'm taking too long reviewing their video, then don't send me stuff again. I don't care. But I'm going to take as long as it takes to put out the best video. When I'm satisfied with it, that's when I'll publish it.
Gotcha. So my brother claims that the stuff I have in the graveyard downstairs is the stuff that says the junk that he won't let me take up to his house. You don't know what I drop off over there while you're sleeping. You don't know what I do. So how has Home Gym Con changed the game for you as a content creator? This is something that I don't think I do a good enough job of asking all of the content creators who have come on the show. We all say, oh, yeah, we love Home Gym Con. We love it. But I'm saying, like, in terms of, and this is good feedback for Jake. I know Jake is watching. Like, how has it changed the game for you, good or bad, for you as a content creator?
That's a good question. I've been to every Home Gym Con, by the way. I was at Home Gym Con 1, 2, 3, and yes, I'll be at 4. I'll tell you how it changed Home Gym Con. It makes Home Gym Con very stressful and a lot of work. Although, it's enjoyable, but I'm working the whole time. Yep. But as far as how does it change content, I kind of, I don't really go in with a plan to Home Gym Con. I just kind of see that looks cool and there's not a swarm of people there right now. Let me go film something over there.
Got it.
I don't recommend that. But
yeah, I was about to say I'm not doing that. But
yeah, I don't recommend that at all. But that's what I did last year.
Okay.
I made even less content in Home Gym Con 2, and I made like 0 content in Home Gym Con 1. This year, do I plan on making content? Yes. And I kind of want to align. I want to do content based upon, number one, the companies that I like and respect, but also new companies that I would like to align myself with.
Right.
And maybe make some contacts with those. But I was really stressed out last year. I think I'm going to try to dial it back just a little so I can just kind of be just a guest of Home Gym Con for at least part of one of the days.
Right.
And just be okay with not making tons of videos. Frankly, the videos I made there, most of them didn't do very well, but that's for one of the reasons was I didn't release any of it until about 2 months after Home Gym Con.
Right.
I was like, I came home with tons of video footage, and I was like, I'll take care of that later, because I still had a bunch of products I was supposed to review, and I already committed to reviewing those before I went to Home Gym Con, so it got done when it got done.
So for me, one of the biggest impacts is setting up brand deals, and establishing and I would say solidifying relationships, both with brands and with other content creators, because a lot of the people who have been on the show have been people who have finally I knew you were watching. I know you're watching. I saw the thing when you popped on earlier, Jake. So I was like,
hey, Jake,
you're watching. And I appreciate that, because Jake's one of the faithful watchers of the show. But what I'm saying is, like, a lot of the people who have had on the show are people who I met at Home Gym Con, and we, struck up a conversation, kind of like I explained kind of like what we do, how it's different from what you guys do. And then, that kind of led to stuff. So that's like probably the biggest game changer for me. And I also enjoy just walking around and doing random stuff. Like we did the thing where, and shout out to Bells of Steel for sponsoring it, but we walked around and I gave out gift cards to Bells of Steel's booth. And I just said, okay, you're going to answer a random question about Canada. If you get it right, then, I'll give you the thing. Right?
Maple syrup. That's the answer.
It's like, it was hilarious. Some of the answers. So that video did well. It was fun. And it was like, and I still at the same time, I'm like, I'm promoting, because Bells of Steel sponsored us to drive to go up there. But I was like, I don't want to just do what everybody else does. Yeah, I'll come do a booth tour, but I'm like getting bored with just this same stuff everybody's doing, right? So I was like, let's try something a little bit different, and that was really cool.
Can I just say something else about that? So
yeah, go ahead.
So I also thought, hey, I got an idea. Company X and Company Y, they're not really showing the Page Man any love. So maybe if I do a booth tour, we can establish some relationships. And in most cases, nothing really happened there. But one cool thing that did happen at Home Gym Con was Speedience. They reached out to me to review the Gym Monster 2.
Okay.
And
shout out to Ray.
And I hummed and hawed about it, and I'm like, I don't know, iron. That's the only way to go, right? I don't know about this digital stuff.
That's right.
And they wanted, more than one video, and I was like, I ain't doing it. And then at Home Gym Con, I got to try it out. I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool.
That's true too. Yeah.
Okay, I'm willing to do, more than one video. I usually only do one video on a product.
Yeah.
But I really liked it. And because I was able to test out in person, I agreed to take that on. And I'm glad I did, because I really like it.
That's actually fantastic. Because that's how I felt about the Anchor. I saw it. I was like, "What is this? What is this thing here?"
I never got.
I was like anti-Voltra, anti-Anchor. I didn't even know that there was a difference between. I was like, what is this? There's limited time in the day. I'll never get this time back. I ain't doing that. And then I tried it, And I was like, oh, and immediately while using it, I started thinking of applications for it. Like, oh, this would be this would be great over here. Or this would be good in this situation. So I would say, yeah, that is probably a great thing about HomeStream because I think we very easily have like some preconceived notions about stuff we only see online. And then you're like, I'm not doing that. But if you see it in person, that kind of like changes your perspective. So I agree. Speaking of the Peach, man, one of your worst performing videos is
thank you.
DIY pegboard installation video.
Oh, okay.
All right. So this is one of my favorite segments because I force you to relive this moment in history.
Yay!
And I think it's fantastic. So let's go ahead. We'll all relive your pain together. I'm going to pull it up here. And right there, see? Peach, okay? Who's apparently a disgraced former senator. Look at that, yeah.
Look at that's a great screenshot right there.
Disgraced former senator Peach. Okay, so I got the sound off, but I'm gonna go ahead and start. Look at you sound so excited, but this is DIY pegboard, right? And
yeah,
look how different your gym looked at the time.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, I was in the middle of renovating, so it was pretty sparse.
So I'm gonna stop right there. Stop sharing. Okay, now
I was a lot more handsome then.
That was a snippet. That was a snippet. Now your task is to convince everybody watching this video to go watch that video. Hang on a second. Yeah. Ready, set, go.
Hey, go watch that video. It's pretty good. No, I don't know. Hey, pegboard's super cheap. What's the metal stuff that everyone's pushing?
Wall control.
Wall control.
Yeah.
I don't have any wall control. Nothing against wall control, but if you have a unique wall, right, wall control might not fit it. So if you want to customize your space, I would go with the cheaper pegboard, and you can kind of customize the size of your pegboard. I think Strength and Steel just renovated his gym, and he's using the same kind of pegboard, and you can just slap it on the wall and just have, attachments galore on your wall without spending $5,000 on wall control on an entire wall, So that's the way to do it. It's pretty easy.
And so go watch this video or you'll never be able to do it.
Or don't.
No, watch the video.
Watch my new videos. Don't watch that old crap.
Hey, I'm telling you, one of the things I love about YouTube is you can still get watch time from an old video.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
So let's go back again, and you're just gonna say, yeah, make sure you watch that video.
Make sure you watch that video. I got kids to feed. Please.
There you go. There you go. So proud of you. It's the IKEA Skaters pegboard, apparently. Okay.
Oh, IKEA kind of has a alternative to the wall control. It's a plastic. My daughter has one in her room. It's a plastic pegboard, and it's super cheap. And it'll hold up most attachments. You don't need steel necessarily, for your rope attachments.
My wife is a huge fan of IKEA, and now I feel like you may have just talked us into an IKEA trip. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Paige. Too bad you can't stay.
Hey.
Anyway.
Good chocolate.
Rex says, I've been lurking, have really enjoyed it. Gotta go now. Hey, make sure you show up on Monday. Ask Kevin all the questions about Japan, Rex. Make sure you're there for that. Sean said 90% of the walls in his garage are pegboard. Okay. And Trevor, Trevor's on a real 3D printing kick, by the way. He actually messaged me, said he's 3D printing something. He's got a project he's working on for some 3D printing stuff. But he said you can 3D print the hooks.
Oh, okay.
Well, everybody's going to do different things, and my brother is going to go have surgery. Okay. So I'll talk to you later.
Well, good luck, Uncle Boo 56 on your surgery.
I mean, there's nothing on TV. You got to have surgery. What are you doing? I'm gonna call Tracy. I get it. Let's see. Trevor says, have you been looking into using 3D printing, I guess, for your any DIY stuff?
I looked into it. My son has a 3D printer that we got for Christmas a couple years ago. It was like the cheapest one you could buy, and it's constantly broken. So, I mean, I haven't really explored it too much. I thought about it, and I guess I need to get a new, better 3D printer.
Okay. Carp said, of course, Peach. That's right. That's all we're calling you from now on, Peach.
There you go.
The Peach. Rex said, I've been to Japan twice and I loved it. Yeah, so my sons have both been to, my oldest and youngest son have both been to Japan. I've never been to Japan. But yeah, that's
I've been to that Japan airport. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've never never been there. I want to say the farthest east I've been is Iraq.
Oh, okay.
No, Kuwait. I'm thinking because I'm picturing a map in my head now. Is Kuwait further east than Iraq is? I don't know. Kuwait and Iraq.
It's further east. Yes.
There you go. So the furthest east I've been is Kuwait.
Yeah, and we were in Iraq at the same exact time, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Where were you at?
I was in Baghdad.
Okay.
I was there from April of 03 to July of 04.
Oh, okay. So you actually left right before I got there because I got there September. Because we went to take Fallujah. Yeah,
my memory of I know that there was some Fallujah stuff going on when I was there.
Yeah. So there were two pushes. So the first push was when you were there, and then they stopped and didn't take the city because they said, "Well, we'll let the Iraqis handle it." They mishandled it, and so then that's how I got a combat action ribbon.
Yeah. That was a good time.
Yeah, yeah. It matches my cheap Iraqi stuff I brought back. Yeah. I mean, I didn't bring anything back. Never mind. Sorry. So Carp said, overrated, underrated, Titan GHDs.
I don't know what the current price is, but Carp is actually part of that GHD story. So quick story to tell. So I have never reached out to a company to get equipment. Never. Except kind of once. Okay. So I wanted a GHD. I was going to buy the Titan GHD. It was on sale. And so I had I was not an affiliate or anything. So, but I was like, let me buy this thing and I'll apply to become an affiliate if I like it so that I can kind of help, defray the cost. So I reached out to Carp because I thought he was an affiliate of Titan. So I'd use his link. And he informed me that they suspended the affiliate program. And if you're a current affiliate, they took top X% that were performing, they kept them, and everyone else they fired. And correct me if I'm wrong, Carp. Okay. So I was like, oh, that kind of stinks. So he's like, why don't you ask him if you can get it for free? And I said, I didn't feel comfortable. Because I've never reached out to a company to ask them for equipment, not because there's any moral problem there, but I just haven't done it. I felt a little awkward. Right. Can I get some free stuff? So I kind of did.
Worst they can say is no.
I know. So I reached out to him and said, hey, I heard I was gonna buy this and review it. I heard you're not doing your affiliate program anymore. Is there any way I could do it anyway? And they said, no. You're not going to be an affiliate. Sorry. We're suspending the program. You're not, but we'll send you one for free. So I didn't really ask for it to be free, but I was kind of hoping
they would way around to it.
And they did, and I did the review, and I'm not a Titan affiliate. So, and from what I understand, you can't become one.
Yeah.
Anymore. And I wonder if that's the case. I don't see a lot of Titan content. They were huge in when I started 2021. They were one of the biggest names, and I haven't seen a lot of new products from Titan in the past few years. And it could be part of it could be that people aren't reviewing their stuff because they know that they're not going to get any kind of affiliate revenue.
So this actually exposes something that I kind of say. So I know that there's this kind of you don't have to say which side you're on, but there's this thing where people say, okay, well, you shouldn't take money up front for doing a product review because it's going to be hard to remain unbiased if you're getting paid up front for something, right? Mm-hmm. The other side says it's hard to remain unbiased if your income is tied to the number of sales of this product. right? So affiliate is basically commission sales.
Sure.
And the other way is basically pay up front, right? And so, well, how can you talk neutrally about a company if they've paid you to do something, right? I get both sides. So I'll just, full disclosure, I go the other way. I'm like, you're going to pay me for my time. And that way it's irrelevant to me whether it sells or not.
Right.
We have affiliate relationships with a few companies, but basically my criteria is, my overarching criteria for if I'll be an affiliate of a company is it annoying for me to deal with you? Because if I'm an affiliate, I got to deal with you all the time. So like, do I have to chase you to get money, whatever, right? So anyway, the thing is that the other thing I see with the affiliate thing is that people who have affiliate links tend to preferentially review stuff that they know they'll get paid on, and not stuff that maybe the company sent them, they got paid once, and whether it sells or not, my income's not tied to it. So as a result, we've had the freedom to review some stuff that doesn't really move, which to me is good because people get to see a wider variety of things. So I am not a fan of Titan at all because of what I think about their quality control. And I know that they said when they were at Home Gym Con 2 that things have changed, but I agree with you. I don't see Titan affiliate stuff. I don't see Titan stuff anymore. And I wonder if it is. So I was like, you know what, I didn't really plan on doing this, but because you said it, let's go to Titan and scroll down here and see where they would normally have the affiliate thing. It's normally at the bottom. It says join the team or something like that. That's where these companies normally put it. And about Titan financing, contact us. Nope. Look what I don't see. Nothing about affiliate. All they have is sign up to get text for exclusive offers.
And to get about 10 emails a day.
Yeah.
If you sign up, you're getting 10 a day.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm saying
Fringe does the same thing. You're gonna get spammed.
I'm like, dude, please just stop it. Let's look at careers. 0 job opportunities, all departments. Look at that. All right. No, there's no opportunities. There's nothing. All right, excellent. See right there? 0 opportunities at Titan.
Yeah.
All right. So, and that was my investigative journalism at work.
Yeah. There you go.
So now I can say yes. So my research showed.
Yeah. Okay. So you just mentioned so how you can get influenced if you get paid or if you're getting something for free. I think that there's a third avenue that could influence you. So let's say I buy a new rack. I don't even need a new rack. Right. Let's say I'm going to review a new rack solely as an investment. I'm not saying I would do this. I'm not saying you would do this, but influencers in general. Right. So we don't have to personalize this, but influencers in general, they might buy a piece of equipment and look at it as an investment. Right. Because they're going to buy it and they'll use the affiliate stuff and they'll go, hey, don't worry. They didn't send this for free. I used my own money. Yeah. Well, if you dropped $5,000 on a rack and now you have a $5,000 financial hole that you intend to fill with affiliate money before you've even received it, you already have this plan.
That was the plan. Yeah.
So wouldn't that also influence you to maybe not lie? Because I don't think anyone's just honest or dishonest. I think it's a continuum. Right. And you might consciously or subconsciously minimize flaws and maybe overemphasize its strengths. It could just be subconsciously because you have now a $5,000 hole you're trying to fill. So I've never bought something to go, I'm only buying this so I can review it and then it'll pay for itself after I get the money. Right. I've never done that.
But that is a danger. You're right. And here's the other thing. When you say you spent your own money on it, people automatically believe you more because oh yeah, he's honest.
Right.
Right. Even though that was your intention. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Whereas if you send it to me for free, there's no financial hole I'm trying to fill. Yeah. It's like, now, of course, you could still be influenced by affiliate links. So if there's a financial incentive to lie, there's a financial incentive to lie. And
if you're predisposed to lie, you'll figure out a reason why. Yes.
Sure. You know, it's really comes down to, you know, if you watch, you really, if you're going to buy something, you should watch obviously more than one review. And if one person says only one negative thing about it and another person says 20 negative things about it, you know, maybe this person has an axe to grind. So, and maybe that's why they were highlighting it more than the other guy. But maybe the other guy was, you know, sandbagging on the negativity too, because he wants the money. So you never really know. I think you just gotta, you know, watch people's content and kind of get a feel. Are they consistent when they're reviewing stuff, and are they trying to offer a well-balanced, nuanced evaluation of the product?
I think there's another factor too, is that you can be honest and wrong at the same time.
Sure,
so
absolutely.
Say, oh yeah, it's this and it's because. So I'll use an example from us, right? We did a review of a RitFit glute ham raise, and we had put
I just
it
got
upside
that
down. Not glute ham raise. I'm sorry. The glute bridge. It's like the little glute bridge.
Okay, I don't have that.
Yeah. So anyway, so we did a review of it and we put it in with basically part of it was upside down. So these mats were sliding, and we're like, yeah, they need to fix this. This is a problem.
Right,
and then Summer, who I brought up before, said she went back, she looked at the video, she said, you know, I think that's upside down. I said, what? Please. So then, but to show my honesty, you know, of course, this might tells you they're honest. You should watch out and I don't believe them. But I did do a video where I said, all right, we're gonna find out if I just put it together wrong or not. And so yeah, we did. It was upside down. I take all the blame for it. But my point is, the review I did was honest, neutral, and wrong at the same time, because I installed it incorrectly or I assembled it incorrectly. So
that brings up another question. So some people will say, don't worry, I didn't have to send the video to the company ahead of time, and therefore I'm more honest. I like sending the video, depending on who it is, ahead of time, because of the reason you just brought up.
Yeah, because what if I did it wrong?
Exactly. So if you did it completely wrong, you don't want to publish that video. No. So so here's an example on the RitFit M2, the 3D Smith machine, the brackets weren't aligned. Right. And I spent this is like a 30-minute video, maybe not that long, but it's long. Right. And I nitpicked the hell out of this thing. Now, could I have installed it wrong? I don't think I did. I'm almost positive I didn't. But I wanted to make sure that I didn't assemble it wrong. So, like usual, I send it ahead of time. And if they're like, okay, sounds good, then that means I did everything right.
Yeah.
I assembled it correctly.
100%. That's what we do too. We always give it to the the company ahead of time. We say, look, make sure I didn't get any of the design things wrong. I mean, even something as simple as I say it's the wrong price because I've got like several things I'm doing at once. I might confuse something. I said, just you know, and we do also say
it's an accuracy check.
So I'll here, and this goes back to you have a journalism background. All right, so you're comfortable with the idea of someone editing your work, and it's the same thing with me. It's like because I don't think I'm perfect. It's good to have fresh eyes on this thing. And then I also tell any company, look, there are certain criteria that I'll revise a video for. And if I say this thing is just sucks and I didn't make any errors and I just think it sucks, like there was a video one time with a rack and it had bad welds. Well, that's got nothing to do with how I put it together. It just got bad welds. I'm not changing the review because of that. So there's that, but you got to like just go into it from the front end. I don't want to let you go without roasting
Titan again.
Yeah, because they deserve it based on what I just see in the comments here. Okay, so go ahead and clip this out. All right. So Carp said yes, Titan only kept the top 10%, top 10 influencers. They only kept the top 10 affiliates, and they leaned into influencers instead of home gym content creators. And he said, yeah, and I think they still owe me like $12 or something because my account is closed, I can't log in to accept the money. Okay. So he said they lean into just running Facebook, Instagram, Google ads, whatever, etc., because they think it has better results. If everyone used affiliate links, those numbers would be a lot different. And so your influence goes unnoticed. So yeah, it's like Yeah, like I said, I don't really have a high opinion of Titan, and I am willing to say, if anybody from Titan sees this and wants to come on here and refute what I say and defend their company, in the past I was like, nah, but you know what? In fairness, yeah, if somebody from Titan wants to come on defend the company, I will give you equal time explaining why I'm wrong, and I will listen with an open mind. But at this point, I just feel like they don't do a good enough job of quality control, because from personal experience with my brother, who was actually the one that was on earlier, he bought a Titan product. He went to a friend's gym and used their it was like a what you call it, trap bar, open trap bar. Loved it. And the guy said, he said, where'd you get that? The guy gave him the link to the exact one. He ordered it, comes to his house, and it's incorrectly set up, and he goes to use it, and when he set it down, he set it down on his foot. And you're like, well, that's his fault. No, it's because the way that the foot was kind of offset, the leg was offset a little bit in a way that it wasn't on the other one he used. And I see way too many examples of Titan customers saying, well, they took care of it after I got in touch with them. I rarely hear people say, yeah, it showed up and it was in good condition and there was nothing wrong with it. With Titan, it's always, well, this was wrong, but they fixed it. So yeah, kudos to you for fixing it, but why not make it so it's not messed up in the first place?
Yeah, I personally, the only Titan product I have is the GHD, so I don't have really anything to say other than that thing arrived with just a few scratches, but it came in good condition. No more scratches than any of these other budget brands. Typically, it's it's the same powder coat, and for what you're paying, you got to expect a few scratches. I don't care if it's Bells of Steel or Rit Fit or Titan, you're going to have a few tiny scratches. But yeah, I don't know.
Trevor says, I would say it shows actual honesty. If the reviewer can build something wrong, so can I. Yeah. I mean,
sure. The instructions suck. That's what that means. The instructions.
There's that as well. Yeah. So man, what's coming up next for your channel, PJ, and how can people keep up with everything you have going on?
So I think I owe 2 more, maybe 3 products I got to review. And then I'm pivoting for a while, I think, to some DIY stuff, some hacks. I also had a product that I did get a provisional patent on, and I've been working on for about 5 years. And I'm letting go of it. I've tried to get it in the hands. I had a deal with a company. I had a whole bunch of fish on the line at different times, but it just never happened. And I'm ready to just move on from it. It started as a DIY project, and I'm like, this idea is too good to just give it away. So I attempted to make it a product with a company, and it didn't really happen. So now I'm going to give it away. And I think it's going to be a pretty big video. So that'll be coming out soon. And then, you can see me home GymCon.
Awesome. All right. Make sure.
But yeah, Design Build Lift.
That's right. Everybody go up to him and everybody say Peach. Just absolutely refuse to call him PJ. Make sure you call him Peach.
Either one, I don't care.
And ask him if it's true he's a disgraced senator, because I do want to know the back.
Oh, yeah. I used to do the little caption under my name. Every video was a different one. I kind of stopped doing that.
I think that's hilarious. Oh, shoot. Before you go, hey, happy birthday, Carp. I did not realize today it was his birthday.
Happy birthday.
Hey, gotta say happy birthday to Coach Carp. Appreciate you, Jake, for letting us know. PJ, man, thank you for being here. Appreciate you taking time out to your day to be on the show. It was awesome, and man, you got an open invite to come back.
Hey,
I'll
take you up on that.
Yeah, I love having conversations like this, and yeah, man, anything I can do. Like I said, you got my number now, so just shoot me a text, and I'm there.
All right, thanks, John. Appreciate it.
All right, man, take it easy, man.
All right, bye-bye.
Later. So that was my dude, PJ from Design Build Lift. Make sure you guys are following Design Build Lift on Instagram. He also has a Facebook page, and make sure that you subscribe to @Design Build Lift on YouTube. That is, you're going to enjoy all of this stuff. That way you don't miss any of the content that he has on there for you. A few more comments, and then we're going to roll into, and then we're going to close this out. So this is actually a good. Carp said, "Yeah, I can always go back to the Dean dumbbell carts. Gluck mentioned them for like 60 seconds in a rep video, and it turned Dean into a dumbbell cart factory overnight. So that just goes to show how many people see stuff they like and will buy it, even if there's no affiliate link associated with it. But there's no way to track that sale or where it came from." And Trevor, PJ, if you're still watching, Trevor wants more soft loop tie down strap videos, which is very specific, but that's what the people want. You got to give the people what they want and what they not necessarily what they need. Let's see here. Everybody saying happy birthday to Carp. Carp said, one of my favorite videos from Peach is how to build a chain yoke with the Gorilla Strength axle sleeves. Oh, there you go. I like that. And Carlos said he just subscribed to Design Build Lift. So there we go. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. All right. Let's talk about what I learned this week, and then we'll close this thing out. So I had the coolest conversation with Mike Brantley. Mike lives in San Diego, as you guys may know. So he's one of our few West Coast viewers who watches live anyway. And I had the coolest conversation with him this week. He told me that one of his students who lives in Virginia was watching this show and saw that Mike was watching and had commented. So the student mentioned it in an email to Mike when they were talking about coursework, and that's how they both realized that they watched this particular show, this specific show. So Mike didn't tell me the student's name, so I don't know if that student is a regular commenter, but this was just another cool way that the show is bringing the members of our community together, bringing us closer. So if you're watching, if you're that student, and just even if you're not, the fact that you're watching means this applies to you. If you're watching, thank you. Please comment in the live chat or the comments on replay when you watch the show, just to let me know that you're out there, because it encourages me more than you know when I see those comments. Even if you say something as simple as, here, I'll tell you what, if you want to comment and just say India, because you're watching from India, that works for me too. That just lets me know that you guys are watching. Yes, I can see the numbers of views, but what it doesn't tell me is like how long somebody watched for, because you might get it recommended to you, see it like, oh, this is not for me, and then you immediately stop watching. So for the people who watch long enough to hear this, to hear me say, please drop a comment, you are appreciated, because you guys are the ones who keep this channel going and make it worthwhile for me to keep on doing this. I don't take any of this support lightly, and I really, really do appreciate you guys. Okay. So that's it for today's show. Thank you to my wife, Naomi, for joining me again today. Thanks also to my guest, Ashley Romiak, and from Ashley, the amazing YouTube channel, and PJ from Design Build Lift for stopping by and making this show as awesome as I thought that it was. Next week, well, let's start with Monday. Monday, once again, don't forget that we have my guy, Kevin, is going to be hosting Mailbag Monday. And you guys can ask him any questions you have about the home gym community in Japan, which equipment brands are available in Japan. Also, what's the deal with some of the Japanese equipment companies and why they're not available in the U.S.? We get to see them at Home Gym Con, like Gentleman Fitness Club. Why is that stuff not available in the U.S.? It's got some cool stuff that we don't have access to. That's going to be at 3:15 p.m. because people have asked me. The show comes on Mondays at 3:15 p.m. It's 30 minutes long. You show up, drop your question in the chat, and your question is answered. Even if you have to drop your question and then leave and come back and watch the replay, that's how your questions get answered, okay? So go ahead and do that. You can also go to a previous episode and put questions on that, but it's better to go to the actual episode on the day of the show and put your comments your question in the live chat, so that it's easy for us to see it, so we can answer your question. And it's an AMA, so you can ask anything related to home gyms, to creating content on YouTube, anything like that. All right, that's the first thing. And then for this show, we'll be back from HFA on Friday, so I will be here hosting the show. And I've got Tyler from PRX Performance is going to be my guest on next Friday's show. So you guys make sure that you tune in for that. And it's going to be another good time. All right. In the meantime, you guys make sure that you keep on sharing the show link telling people about what we're doing here. And most of all, keep on stacking days and get a gym towel. That's important. Get a gym towel.